Good afternoon and welcome to Armagh TV from a bit of a rainy Boxit Athletic Grounds here. This is the exclusive stream for Armagh versus Derry in round one of the All-Ireland Group Series. With a bit of build-up here before we get up to the commentary. Just a reminder that today's stream is audio only, so don't be panicking if you can't see the match later on. I'm delighted to be joined for a bit of build-up by Stevie McDonald. Stevie, packed Athletic Grounds here. We're in for a good one to get the games, the All-Ireland started.
Absolutely, there's certainly going to be an intense atmosphere here. I think the Armagh supporters from the Ulster final 2 weeks ago have been looking forward to getting back at it and supporting their team again, as have the lads, getting over the disappointment of losing another Ulster final. They'll be glad to be back in the field and preparing for today. And looking around, yes, the conditions aren't ideal, but you can be sure that these players will give their all.
And that's 3 Ulster finals in a row now. This is a familiar position for this group of players, but we've seen what happened last year after a similar result. How do you reckon the mood is in camp for them at the minute?
Yeah, these boys are experienced enough, and they'll have used the experience of last year as well to deal with the loss 2 weeks ago. To be fair to them, they've done a hell of a lot right. So if they lost in the Ulster final by playing badly, then you would have probably more questions to answer, but I think they'll be in a good frame of mind coming in here today, and thankfully the game is in the Boxit our Athletic Grounds, and it's a venue that they have had quite a bit of success over the last while, so hopefully that can continue today.
And they welcomed Derry here in the league not that long ago. They got a resounding victory that day. They scored 4 goals in the second half of that match. That's obviously something they can take in till today. Yeah,
listen, there's goals in this Armagh team. We know that there are a few opportunities in the Ulster final that probably weren't clinical enough, but if they get those chances today, they have to take them. Is it going to be as comprehensive today? I can't see it. Derry have been waiting in the long grass for 7 weeks now. They've been preparing well. I've heard in the background that things have been going well in the camp. They've had a few challenge games and performed quite well in them, so this is going to be a tough Derry team we're playing today. I think Armagh's experience though overall and the depth of their squad will count for a lot as well though.
Speaking of things going on in the background, we have been hearing, and Kieran and Johnny will confirm this on commentary, but we're expecting Rian O'Neill to start this match for Armagh today. That'll be a huge boost.
Yeah, what a boost that would be, and particularly given the fact that it'll be his first game of experience in the 2-pointers, and what a long range kicker Rian would be. He'll get a great response from the crowd here as well if he is named the starting 15, but just to have him in the squad alone is a massive bonus for this Armagh squad at this particular time of year. And maybe a couple of weeks ago they were thinking about not having Rian at all, so to see him tug out here is a fantastic boost.
Alright Stevie, thanks a million. We're going to throw it back up to the commentary position now with Kieran Lynch and Johnny Murtagh, and we'll be back shortly with a little bit more build up with Blaheen and Amy Mackin just a few minutes before throw-in.
So welcome now into the commentary booth. My name is Kieran Lynch, joined today with former Armagh player Johnny Murtagh on commentary. We're going to announce the 2 teams, and I suppose the big news, Johnny, we may as well start with it. The main man, the marquee forward, is in. Rian O'Neill starts today's game, and brilliant to see, isn't it, for Armagh football?
Absolutely excellent, especially Armagh's now defending their All-Ireland crown here at home in the first round of the All-Ireland series. You have Derry up here in a big game, massive win. It's going to be needed here today, and the main man, he's in phenomenal shape. I thought this game might come a wee bit too soon, maybe a cameo off the bench, but here he's moving well in training and he's straight in. Probably big news that Aidan Falker is out with a niggle, so it probably frees up a few things around the field.
Yeah, and you mentioned the bench there. Of course, Rian O'Neill's in from the start, but look at the players on the bench. The likes of Conor Turbitt, Stephen Campbell, Niall Grimley. If this game's tight with 15-20 minutes to go, do you see Armagh's bench having that wee bit of an edge on Derry?
Absolutely. Look, we've seen this last year, especially when we were kicking for home for an All-Ireland. The bench made an awful difference. Soupy Campbell coming off the bench, unbelievable at different things last year and starting last year, but they need to have a bench. Turbitt just hasn't really got back to full fitness yet. I would like to see him back in the starting team eventually, but what men they can bring off with experience and all-stars and everything there, so it's a massive kick whenever it's needed.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the teams in front of me, folks. So starting with Armagh in goals, Ethan Rafferty. Full back line, Paddy Burns, Barry McCambridge and Peter McGrain. Ross McQuillan's at 5 with Charlie Oakburns at 7, and incoming, he'll wear the number 6 jersey replacing Aidan Forker, is Rian O'Neill. Midfield pairing is Jason Duffy and Ben Creeley. Darren McMullen, Rory Grugan and Oisín Connolly make up the half forward line, with Tiernan Kelly, Andrew Murnan and Oisín O'Neill in the full forward line. Then for Derry, Ben McKinless starts in goals. This is his first championship start since 2018. There's a championship debut for their cornerback Patrick McGurk. Owen McAvoy and Jimmer Baker join him in the full-back line, and there's another championship debut for Rory Forbes, the under-20s captain for Derry. He's joined by much more experienced player Brendan Rodgers, with Padraig McGrogan at 7. Conor Glass and Conor Doherty are the midfield pairing. Kieran McFall, Paul Cassidy and Ethan Doherty make up the half-forward line, and there's a change in the full-forward line as Niall Loughlin drops out. He's replaced by yet another championship debutant, Anton Cohill, with Shane McGuigan and Niall Toner completing the full-forward line. So that's the teams for his folks. We're going to throw it right back down now to Michael. He's joined by the two Mackin sisters, Laheen and Amy.
All right, welcome back pitchside, joined now by Amy and Blaheen Mackin. The rain is starting to pick up a wee bit, girls, here, but the atmosphere is definitely building. Just before we get into the men's match here, it's another great year for the ladies, Ulster champions again. That's just over the tannoy there, the announcement that Rain O'Neill will be starting here today, sort of usurping us.
Yeah, no, great to see Rain back. I think everyone wanted to see him back, especially with the new rules. So, yeah, I suppose with the girls we had a great start with the league. Unfortunate in the league final and then the Ulster Championship. To win it again is obviously very special for us as a team. I think there's a couple of us now with a few Ulster medals, which is nice. But then there's one more that we probably want to get our hands on that's most important.
And you are no strangers to big occasions. You could maybe have a few words of advice for the boys here today.
Okay, I think after the last day out, it's probably just about getting back out there playing football, and they obviously done really well against Donegal, just didn't get over the line. But if they bring their own game, they know they can beat anyone on any given day, and I think it's sort of just working to their strengths. And on a slippy day with the weather like this, it can go either way, but just sort of protect the ball and they'll be all right.
And it's a bit of a breeze here as well. That's definitely going to play a part into it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think with the new rules anyway, games seem to be more even, no matter who you're playing against. So the weather definitely is going to even a lot of things up. Not sure if it's better for the defenders or the forwards, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they get on.
All right, just before we finish, then a prediction then for how today is going to go.
Yeah, I think it'll be really close, but I think Armagh will win it. Hopefully, I would imagine by 2 or more you would take, but I'd say only it'll be close margins.
Amy?
Yeah, I think the game will probably go to the wire like usually with Armagh, so going for an Armagh win, probably Rain O'Neill to kick the winner too.
All right, that's our pre-match build-up finished here. As a reminder, this is audio only streaming here today, so it'll be commentary with Kieran Lynch and Johnny Murtagh. Sorry for getting this
folks as well. We're delighted to be bringing you coverage of the game. Of course, we don't have rights to show the game, but we hope that myself and Johnny can describe the action for you as best as we can with our radio coverage. But brilliant to be here. Big game, Johnny, and of course the Ireland champions. I suppose both teams are in a position where they want to lay down a marker. Armagh beaten in the Ulster final. Derry has been in poor form, but at the same time Armagh can't take them big, can they?
Yeah, absolutely. The big thing for Derry is that if they're going to have to try and keep this game as tight as they can, as long as they can. The last time they did that, they shifted up late, shifted a lot of goals as well. So they're going to look to try and tighten that up. As you mentioned, there's a team there with Derry, a lot of newcomers. It's very daunting. It's daunting in the place to come here to the right grounds. To be acknowledging the times and Armagh's on it. And to have debutants to come in here and if they play the All-Ireland champions is a big ask. But they do have a lot of experience and a couple of All-Stars scattered around the field. So I would imagine Derry's just going to try and play it at a half basis and try and keep it as tight as they can. And then they'll probably take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And a wind blowing as we look at it from right to left. We'll keep you right with that in our commentary as well as we try and describe the action, try and describe the elements, but not favourable for either side, is it, Johnny, to play on a night like this?
No, definitely not. There's a tricky wind coming across the field, and obviously there's heavy rain sort of forecast here in more ways than one, so we'll see how that goes as well.
Absolutely. Michael was on speaking to the two Mackin sisters when the announcement was made. Number 6, Rian O'Neill. We've already been over that, but I'm sure we'll hopefully be saying his name quite a bit throughout the coverage. But two men, perhaps were sort of unsung heroes last year who are really stepping up. It's the two wing backs, Ross McQuillan, Charlie O'Byrne, having fantastic seasons, Johnny.
The lads have been absolutely excellent, and you know, every opportunity they have of going forward at pace. Two men with massive engines, massive engines. I've been particularly impressed with Ross McQuillan. You know, he's chipping in with scores every game so far. Another man that's had an unbelievable sort of kicked on from his amazing season last year is Oisín Connolly. He's been absolutely phenomenal. You know, and shipped a couple of heavy knocks in the last day. Donegal seemed to target him, but he kept getting up and kept going, and he's got some big scores for Armagh. Phenomenal man from play.
Absolutely, and another player, another Oisín, who's been chipping in with plenty of scores. And perhaps with Rian being out of the team during the league and the championship so far, it's actually given Oisín O'Neill a huge chance, and he's really stepped up, and the 2-pointers seem to suit him right down to the ground.
You hit the nail on the head. The 2-pointers is bread and butter for Oisín and Rian O'Neill in particular. It just comes so natural, them shooting from distance. When you look at the big scores that Oisín or that Rian got last year and the big massive score that Oisín got, they would have been 2-pointers, you know what I mean? So these boys have it in their locker, and Oisín O'Neill has been phenomenal. He's got himself in really good shape. He's got himself really, really fit. He's just still not fit to see out that game. He puts in that much effort to his game and high intensity and goes through a lot of work, and especially big hits. So he's still not seeing out the 70 minutes, but as we've seen with the bench that we have there, we have plenty of a full arsenal to come on whenever he does his job. So I'll be expecting sort of that's what will happen today from probably 55, 60 minutes on, Kieran.
Absolutely. Well, look, the crowd is building really, really nicely here in the box of the athletic grounds. It looks, from where our vantage point, very, very close to a sellout. Can't fit too many more people inside the stadium. So wherever you're listening to us, folks, from all around the world, if you couldn't make it to the box of the athletic grounds today, we hope to do our best with the coverage. We're not too much further away now from getting underway. The two teams in the huddle. And I believe we're going to pause for a moment's silence. There's 5 people we would like to remember ahead of the game. Mary Murta from Mullaban, James Kelly from Cuchulain's Club, Frank McKenna from Cullaville, Catherine Sherry from St Killian's White Cross, and Paul Conway from Ballinderry. They're going to be remembered ahead of the game with a moment's silence on the referee Sean Hurston's whistle. But you can just see now the substitutes for both sides making their way towards the bench. Not too much longer to go, and the crowd's really raring here for what's going to be a cracking championship match.
Absolutely, and just a note there, I personally knew Frank McKenna myself, an unbelievable man in the community over there. He's going to be sorely missed, and it's a big, big blow now to the community, but our thoughts is with Frank and the family.
Absolutely, so the two teams now just taking their place on the respective 45-metre lines. Referee today, Tyrone man Sean Hurston, but Armagh won't mind Hurston because if there's a good superstition, he was the man in the middle during the All-Ireland final last year between Armagh and Galway. But still just waiting on his indication ahead of the moment's silence. And then we'll have a Ronavian, and then the action will get underway. We're going to lose picture here on Armagh TV, so we're turning from Armagh TV into Armagh Radio for one day. But we hope that you enjoy our coverage, and we hope Armagh can get the business done. So we're going to pause now for a moment's silence. Remember the 5 people mentioned, and we send our best wishes to their families. And now we're going to get a rendition of a Ronavian from Connor Sands. Connor Sands is a member of the Carcroppin Club in Camden. it speaks for itself. We're ready to get underway. I'm aware we've lost a picture for the game now, so we don't have the rights. As mentioned, Armagh TV don't have the rights to show the game, but we'll bring you radio coverage and hope that we can do our best. Armagh talking out in black, Derry in the white and red. Armagh will be playing from right to left as we look at it in the first half. And judging by the flags to our left, Johnny, Armagh will have a breeze advantage in this first half.
Slight breeze advantage, and Rain is already getting a bit of close attention from the number 7 here for Paris McGrogan. It's going to pick up Rain O'Neill. He's giving close attention there, but Rain's well up for it. And what a cauldron this is for a football match. The intensity here already is phenomenal.
Sean Hurston throws the ball in. It's Ben Creeley battling for it with Toehill. Championship debut for Derry, but it's Armagh who get their hands on the ball first. Oisín Connolly around the middle of the field. He's got Tiernan Kelly ahead of him. Armagh building slowly here right in front of our commentary position. Kelly crosses the 45-metre line, gives it to Oisín O'Neill. O'Neill under a lot of pressure, has to go away from goal. Back out to Connolly. Connolly's on the 45-metre line. Is a potential chance going to open up for Armagh. Jason Duffy outside the 2-point arc. They're still recycling it from left to right. Darren McMullen might break through the lines here for Armagh. Out to the wing. Derry set up in the defensive shape. Armagh just having to be patient, but they've worked well. Rian O'Neill gets his first touch of the ball, which raises a cheer from the crowd. But Armagh having to be patient. Now a chance opens up here for Darren McMullen. He takes a left-footed shot. Not an easy effort, but wide of the far post as we look at it. He took that from the right wing on his left foot. Wide of the target.
Lucky there from Darren as well. Work move out in that far corner. Moved the ball right around the arc, and he came off the shoulder. It was very, very tight, but just went the wrong end of the post.
Yeah, so Derry yet to really touch the ball so far in this game. Now the goalkeeper.
Armagh's high pressing here on the kick out, so they're trying to get him to go long.
Yeah, McKinless making his first championship appearance since 2018, believe it or not. Oren Lynch not available for Derry. He's not in the 26 at all. McKinless goes long. It's a 50-50 battle in the middle of the field. Who'll that favour? Armagh have it from him. They get it indeed. Ben Creeley broke it down. And coming out with his Oisín Connolly again, already getting his hands on the ball. Now Charlie O'Byrne crosses the 45-metre line. He's got Oisín O'Neill ahead of him. O'Neill has to go out to the wing under pressure from Derry. Checks it back out to Jason Duffy. Duffy outside the 2-point arc, goes backwards again to Connolly. Armagh once again just have to be patient. Now Ethan Rafferty joins the attack. He comes from deep. Will he take a shot at the post? He's outside the 2-metre arc. He's been closed down. Rafferty plays it out again to the wing. Derry set up the discipline in their defence. Grugan now twisting and turning past his man, past Jimmer Baker. Grugan plays it across, potential goal chance for Oisín O'Neill, but the goalkeeper read it well. The pass is inside O'Neill, but McKinless read the danger, picked it up for Derry. Now Derry gets some clean possession of the ball for the first time in this game, and they're building out from the back.
Has to be said there, Rory Grugan looks in very, very sharp here early on in this game.
Now Derry cross the halfway line. What can they do in attack? Kieran McFall. Derry playing into the Dalton Road end, playing into the breeze. No score yet. We're over 2 minutes into this game. Can Derry be the first side to get their names on the score sheet? Niall Toner has to go backwards, and Armagh now the team set up in the defensive shape. Derry the team playing it laterally. They have it out in the wing, but again with the breeze and with the elements they have to work it in close. But now might open up for Conor Glass. He receives a pass but has to go backwards. Armagh close the gap quickly. Ethan Doherty has it. He looks towards the post but elects not to take the shot. Derry moving it across the field. Backwards, Shane McGuigan now gets his first touch, but again Armagh disciplined defence. It might open up here for Brendan Rodgers. He's just inside the 2-point arc. Brendan Rodgers sends it high. Has he snuck it inside the post? He hasn't. He sends it wide. So a difficult chance from Brendan Rodgers.
Just right behind us here, and we can see him much there with the breeze, with the ball just torn right around there. It did look like originally he was going over the bar and just went the wrong side of the post. Something similar with Armagh done down the opposite end.
Yeah, Armagh get the kick out away short. Derry backing off. Ethan Rafferty just chips it out to the wing, and Peter McGrain will build an Armagh attack down the right wing. Rory Grugan has it now inside his own half. Back to Paddy Burns.
Derry's trying to stay a bit high here and try and make Armagh work out of defence.
Yeah, but they've done well. They've got it to McGrain. He has to go backwards though, and again, as you said, Derry are keeping a high press on. Armagh plays through. Tiernan Kelly takes his eye off the ball though in the slippy conditions and commits a foul as well on the Derry number 5, Rory Forbes. So just a handling error there from Tiernan Kelly. And now Derry have possession inside Armagh.
There's a man inside.
Glass looked up. He had him on for a moment. He's got a runner off the shoulder as well. Ethan Doherty. Doherty on his right foot, back to Conor Glass. Glass from the right wing, looking to take the shot on for a point. Sends it over the black spot, and Derry are the first team on the scoreboard. 3.5 minutes on the clock. Conor Glass with the point, and that all really came, Johnny, from a handling error there from Tiernan Kelly.
Absolutely, around the middle, toward bad handling error, and Armagh's got punished just for a slight mistake, but it is slippy conditions. These are the things that's going to happen on a greasy surface, and a real hard surface, but greasy on the top.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a spell of great weather for about 3 weeks, made for a hard surface, but now, as you mentioned, the rain causing havoc. But Armagh move it quickly. They've got it to Oisín O'Neill. He's inside the Derry 45, so they went from back to front in a blink of an eye. It's not Paddy Burns, in fact, it's Darren McMullen, but he's dispossessed. Coming through the wing, and Patrick McGurk, one of those championship debuts for Derry, 1 of 3, got the turnover, but Derry have been called for a foul. Sean Hurston with his hand in the air, and it's free in Armagh.
Conor Glass had offloaded the ball with a fist tackle, and then I'd sort of give the Armagh man a wee bit of a nudge, well, more of a nudge, I suppose, into the stomach, but the referee was on the ball, he was onside, and it has to be said there, Oisín Neal had a phenomenal one-handed catch there to lay off to Dara, and just got overturned, but it was a hard ball to take.
This is right in Rory Grugan territory. It suits the left footer, it's to the right of the post, outside the D. One without trying to put the jinx on him, a player of Grugan's calibre, you'd expect him to split the post, and as we approach the 5-minute mark of this game, can he level the scores at 1 point apiece? He can indeed, as you can tell by the crowd. So Rory Grugan, the first man on the board for Armagh, 1 point apiece, 5 minutes on the clock.
It's took Armagh 5 minutes to get on the score sheet here at home, and Derry will be happy enough with that if they can sort of keep it around that. They'll be.
Yeah, Armagh going high on the kick out here. The crowd getting on McKinless' back, he still hasn't taken the kick out.
It's going out to the same side again, out to the stand side.
Battle, Charlie Ogue and Conor Glass on it. Charlie Ogue Burns breaks it. Now Armagh have possession. Rian O'Neill on the ball, breaks through a tackle, plays it forward here, chance potentially for a goal. Andrew Murden driving, he's just going to take the easy option. Second place for Armagh. But that all team, kick out broken from Charlie Ogue Burns on Derry's kick out. They moved it quickly. About 20 metres out, Andrew Murden took the shot.
Great score and how quick Armagh moved that ball at pace. But you see, they're trying to make the keeper go onto the stand side. They want him to go long. And it seems that Armagh is boxing off the kick out very well.
Yeah, Charlie Ogue Burns is tagging Conor Glass at the moment. That's an interesting one-on-one battle out on that far wing. He's actually going to come out to our side, the terrace side, but it goes over everybody's head, and it'll be Armagh ball because Andrew Murden gathers it inside his own half. So that kick out just over the head of his intended target. Conor Doherty and Armagh once again have possession about 50 metres from the Derry goal. Ethan Rafferty coming up, getting involved. Rian O'Neill plays it out to Darren McMullen. Derry once again dropping bodies back. Armagh just having to play it laterally here and bide their time for an opening. Darren McMullen about 50 metres out. He's got Ross McQuillan for support. Armagh leading this game 2 points to 1 with over 6 minutes on the clock.
And a good bit of this so far. Rafferty has joined the attack here. It's probably a statement of content.
Connolly tries to show his pace. Can he get away from Conor Doherty? Oisín Connolly here for Armagh, about 30 metres out. A great score from Oisín Connolly. It was a bit pedestrian, it was a bit lateral, but Connolly drove at the Derry defence, carried the ball inside the 45, got it on his right foot.
It's actually a great move there, and it's something for the people at home. Rian O'Neill gave a hand pass off, and then he ran straight to the full forward line, left the space for Oisín Connolly for a one-on-one scenario, took on the man, great score.
Rian O'Neill went battling for that Derry kick out, but it's over his head, and Derry retained possession on their own kick out with Jimmer Baker. So Armagh have been causing Derry a lot of problems on their own kick outs, but Derry win this ball, and now across the halfway line, that's Kieran McFall. And you see, he's indicating with his left hand, just to slow things down a little bit here. Armagh have had a lot of the ball in these opening 7 minutes, leading the game 3 points to 1 after that latest Connolly score. And Derry, now they're the team just being a little bit pedestrian, being lateral and slowing things down, but Conor Glass might change that. He's outside the 2 point arc, carrying it down the left wing on the stand side, facing in the Dalton Road end. Derry playing from left to right, if you like, if you're used to watching games on television. Yeah, in the black, Derry in the white and red.
They'll work it over this far side, and they'll be trying their utmost to get Shane McGuigan on the ball.
Yeah, they've got Patrick McGurk on the ball at the moment. He's outside the 2 point arc. Don't think he's going to shoot from there. He has got McGuigan for support. McGuigan's going to take a shot in the left foot. He's just inside the 2 point arc. Has he curled it inside the post? He hasn't. That could have curled one of two ways. It curled outside the post, and a second away from Derry. And it's an interesting battle. Paddy Burns, he picked up Derek Canavan well in the Ulster semi-final. He did a good job on Oisín Gallen after the switch in the Ulster final, and he's tasked with Shane McGuigan.
Our best man marker at the moment is picking up their best attacker, and so far Paddy's winning the battle.
Yeah, now Armagh get the short kick out away. They're inside their own half at the minute, playing it through the hands. Rory Grugan on the ball. He's got Rian O'Neill in the middle. O'Neill out to Charlie Ogue Burns out in this left wing. And now Armagh cross halfway, and you can hear the crowd starting to bail. Charlie Ogue Burns has paced the Burns. He's got Jason Duffy with him before he's carried it a long way. Charlie Ogue Burns into Andrew Murden. There's about 20 minutes to go. Murden and Duffy getting each other's way. Murden keeps possession of the ball though. They've worked it back out. Connolly may take a shot from here. He will. 2 pointer. Flashing Connolly at the behind it, and you can hear from the crowd a superb point. Oisín Connolly on the left wing, got it on his right foot, and swung it over for 2 points. That puts Armagh into a 5-1 lead.
Armagh had a couple of options there, but what an absolute phenomenal score there by Oisín Connolly, who's continuing on. Like we said before the game, he's red hot here at the minute, and Armagh's getting him the ball when he's on.
Kick out from Derry, goes right down the middle, finds him on, finds Kieran McFall. And again, Derry just seem to want to kill things a little bit here. They're under a lot of pressure. They're trailing this game already by 4 points as we approach the 9 minute mark. Again, Armagh do have the breeze in this first half, so I suppose from Derry's point of view, it'll just be about staying within touch and distance, won't it, going into the...
Yeah, they'll be trying to slow it down, like you said, they'll be trying to slow it down as best they can, not give Armagh any momentum, because you see how quick Armagh can make that scoreboard tick.
But Derry now just keeping possession of the ball. They're outside the Armagh 45. Armagh back in their defensive shape, happy for Derry to have the ball here. Kieran McFall. Just sort of at walking pace at the minute for Derry. They're looking for options, they're looking for a bit of movement inside. But at the moment it's Armagh who are disciplining the defence. Can Derry break through it now? A give and go there for Ethan Doherty, but again Armagh are forcing Derry back out, and Derry about 50-55 metres away from Armagh's goal here with possession. Not really in a dangerous position at the moment. Again, Derry playing into the breeze, playing into the Dalton Road end. Conor Glass has it now, outside the 45 metre line. Glass trying to orchestrate things. Brendan Rodgers has it now. He might drive at this Armagh defence. They need a bit of penetration here, Derry. Rodgers plays it into McGuigan. Can McGuigan get it onto his right foot? He works it back out well. In fact, might open up here for goal shot for Derry. But a super block from Ben Creeley. Conor Doherty took the shot. Ben Creeley blocked it down, but Derry retained possession of the ball with McFall. He gets it back out to Patrick McGurk. Derry still have their hands on it. They've been forced back out though. They're out around the 2 metre arc, or 2 point arc, pardon me. Now McFall will give it a go. He's inside and he sends it wide to the post. So McFall just inside the 2 metre arc, 2 point arc. Didn't catch it well.
Derry is shooting under phenomenal pressure here by the Armagh men. Absolutely top class block there by Ben Creeley. Armagh was unlucky actually not to get the rebound, but they'll be happy enough. They're building out from the back. Derry has given up the kick out there.
Yeah, Derry giving up the kick out again. Rian O'Neill is just getting a round of applause for just being on possession of the ball, so great to see him back for Armagh. But most importantly at the minute is the scoreline retreats. Armagh 5 points, Derry 1 with about 10.5 minutes gone in this game. Armagh with the fast start, trying to push it out further. Ross McQuillan might be the man to do that. He's playing it to Charlie O'Byrne. Charlie O'Byrne is getting down the left wing. He just lost possession of the ball at the crucial moment, and it spills through to the Derry goalkeeper Ben McKinless. And a bit of afters there between one of the Derry defenders, the Armagh man, and Derry trying to get that from the back. There's a tackle getting in there. Armagh might have a goal chance here. Eventually it tails wide, so it's a bit scrappy there, and it's gone wide.
I think that was probably a 45 to be honest with you, but the umpires wheeled it wide.
Padraig McGrogan had the ball close to his own goal line. Tiernan Kelly in fairness came in, punched the ball loose, but the ball could have been an Armagh goal chance, just tailed out, and the referee called it wide.
Absolutely, Kieran could have went anywhere that ball, but it has to be said, the appetite from Armagh here and the pressure they're putting Derry under.
Yeah, Armagh have been phenomenal so
Pressing
far in
this
this
kick
game.
out again, there's a very high press. Rafferty's even up in it.
You're right, Rafferty's in midfielder.
Oisin O'Neill just off the ball. Oisin O'Neill is down on the far end of the field.
Conor Glass claims that kick out high above his head out here on the terrace side, so good kick out there from Derry. And when they're under pressure, probably a few better men than Conor Glass in the country, so he gets them out. Now Kieran McFall crosses halfway for Derry. They could use the score now just to get themselves back up and ticking in this game. It's 5 points to 1 in favour of Armagh as we approach the 12-minute mark. Derry though are on the attack. Shane McGuigan plays it out to the left wing. Will a chance open up? The shot taken towards post from Ethan Doherty, and has he snuck it inside the post? He has. A well worked move there from Derry, involving their key men. They got Glass on it, Rodgers on it, McGuigan on it, and then Doherty, the number 12, on the left wing, swung it over from his right boot. And Armagh forced into an early change here. Oisin O'Neill, as you called, his day is done, but not a bad player at all to be bringing on Conor Turbot.
I think it could be is it a blood sub or is it a straight change? I'm just not sure here.
He's receiving
like blood
attention
sub.
from the physio, so we'll keep an eye on that.
He was down a second ago, folks, off the camera.
So
but what a score there by, as you said, by Doherty. Shane McGuigan did go for the 1-2.
Kick out slipped through the hands of Jason Duffy. That was the groan from the Armagh supporters you could hear. We'll keep an eye on the situation with Oisin O'Neill. He's been taken off for Conor Turbot. Might just be temporary, but in any event, it's Derry who are in possession of the ball on Armagh's 45-metre line. Brendan Rodgers twisting and turning, gets it back to Glass. As mentioned, those two players as well as McGuigan were involved in that last move, and that's what Derry really want to do, get their key men on the ball, trailing this game by 5 points to 2 through 12.5 minutes here in the Box of Athletic Grounds. And this man, Doherty, got the score a moment ago. Can he make it 2 in a row? He's outside the D, passes it off on this occasion. Derry just forced to go backwards. Armagh again putting a lot of pressure on Derry, not letting them get any easy shots away. They're outside the 2 point arc now at the minute with Conor Doherty. Doherty works it back out, and again Armagh back in their defensive shape. Derry just forced to retreat here from Armagh's goal, but they've worked it out to Shane McGuigan. Shane McGuigan's about 50 metres out from Armagh's goal, just trying to get possession of the ball. He's been followed all the way by Paddy Burns. Now Ethan Doherty scored that point a moment ago.
Toner's
plays it off the shoulder yet. The Niall Toner chance for Derry. Thought it was going to open up, it didn't. Armagh again closed the space. Derry about 30 metres or so out from goal, but Armagh just keep closing the space. Brendan Rodgers now outside the D. Into Glass. Will he get it back? Will Glass take a shot? He won't. Now Paddy Burns is tagging him. And again, they're forcing, every time Derry come close to Armagh's goal, they're being forced to retreat. Doherty again. Ethan Doherty, that is. Taking on McGreen. Played out now to Rory Firth. Might open up here for a fisted chance for Derry from the wing. Hits the upright post and goes over the bar. So well worth score there from Derry. They are patient. Got it in the hands of Rory Firth. Indeed, yeah, the number 5 championship debut. And from the right wing, fisted over the bar.
Armagh will be making them work very, very hard there. Has to be said as well, Oisin O'Neill seems to be getting treatment on a hamstring, so it looks like Conor Turbot is in for the rest of the game anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Armagh once again going short on their own kick out and trying to play it out from the back. They have possession through Oisin Hannity inside their own 45. He plays it out to McGreen. McGreen is Darley Ogan, the left wing, Darley Ogan Burns. He's got Ashton Connolly ahead of him across midfield, and Connolly's got pace to burn. Connolly now taking the ball inside the 45-metre line. What a live wire he is. What a start he's made to this game with 3 points, including an excellent 2-pointer a moment ago. Conor Turbett gets his first touch of the ball, but has to go back out to Darley Ogan Burns. So Derry now are the team closing the space and making life a little bit tricky for Armagh to break them down.
There's an awful lot of space on the opposite side of Rian O'Neill here. If he gives and goes or checks here, he could get on the ball.
Yeah, O'Neill does receive it, but he's about 50 metres out from goal. Well within his range though. Can he take a shot 2-pointer? He won't. He gives it to Murnan, gets it back. Chance potentially for a goal here for Rian O'Neill, driving in strong. I think it's here. I don't even know if you can hear me. On the back of Rian O'Neill. Absolutely. 15 minutes on the back, gets his first goal.
You can see that Bosby is winding up for a check move there off the ball. Come right round on the arc off Dara, received it, took the man on, bust in with a bit of power, couldn't stop him, left foot over the bar.
Super score from Ryan Lilly. Great to see him back out there for Armagh. He's picking up Conor Glass now, and the ball's going to go right on top of him, and it goes out over the end line. So the kick out from McKinless was intended for the wing, but too much on it, over the head of Conor Glass, over the head of Rian O'Neill, and into the crowd. And Armagh move it quickly. It's Rian O'Neill took that sideline ball. Now Andrew Murnan has it about 50 metres out from the Derry goal. But a super score from Armagh, and the crowd went bananas there, Johnny. It's great to see it. Can Armagh capitalise with another quick score? McQuillan right across the face, goal left and over the line. Another well-worked score from Armagh. They got the sideline. Andrew Murnan in the middle field. He played it to McQuillan coming down the right wing. It was a tight angle for McQuillan. He clipped it in off the upright and over the bar, and it's a 7 points to 3 lead for Armagh now.
Very tight angle, but what a score in off the upright, and Ross McQuillan's continued on his good form and getting scores every game so far this year.
Yeah, Armagh have players stepping up right across the field at the minute. They've certainly been full value for their 4-point lead at the minute, but Derry move it quickly. They've got the kick out away. Now they're inside Armagh's 2-point arc. Conor Doherty driving through the lines. He's bottled up though by 4 Armagh defenders, and they get the turnover. Kieran Kelly's the man coming out of the ball. Now Armagh want to move it quick. Oisin Connolly across halfway. An infraction from Armagh, not spotted by Herson, and just as I say that, Herson is blowing the whistle, and indeed it was an infraction from Connolly. Connolly came to get the ball. In fairness, he was coming out from his own half, but in order to get possession of the ball, he had to cross the halfway line, which left 2 Armagh forwards up. And Derry now, because of the rules, they're going to get a chip over free.
It was very tight, and it's one of them crazy scenarios that a man has played the ball, and what do? Stop at the halfway line.
Derry have a chip over free here, but instead they've taken it around the middle of the field. I don't think they knew the rule. Patrick McGrath took the free, and actually they've conceded possession right back to Armagh. So Derry could have chipped over a handy score. Instead, opted to take the free from the midfield mark, and Armagh have already a chip. Conor Turbett turns flying over the back from the left wing. Conor Turbett up and running with an excellent 2-pointer, a mirror image of what we saw from Connolly a few minutes ago from the left wing onto his right foot, swung it over. Armagh lead 9 points to 3, but Johnny, what was he thinking there?
Awful mistake there by the man. He should have brought the ball up the field for a score. He went to the halfway line and just took a quick free and give it away.
Yeah, and Armagh punished them, got the ball into Turbett. Turbett with a super score. We have a great position here in the commentary position. We're right behind it from the left wing, swung it over, and Armagh are firing all cylinders. But that's probably an indication West Armagh are playing well. Derry, perhaps a bit of a mental error there from Derry, getting caught in the headlights a little bit, Johnny.
Caught in the headlights, exactly right. And so many new debutants, like we said, coming in here, and they looked a wee bit shell-shocked, Derry.
Breaking play
and what punishment? The punishment there by Conor Turbett from outside the arc, and his first shot on goal and straight over the bar for a 2-pointer. Phenomenal accurate man. He's the most accurate man in the Armagh squad.
Absolutely. Just a breaking play at the moment. Patrick McGurk for Derry, the cornerback, has gone down with a knock. So a chance to catch our breath here. About halfway through this first half. Armagh 9 points, Derry 3 points. Armagh do have a breeze advantage. How much the elements are playing in it, I don't know, but certainly in terms of individual battles all over the field, Armagh bringing big energy to this game.
Yeah, Armagh's bringing big energy. They're bringing big hunger. Some people were saying during the week, would there be that hangover with Armagh after the Ulster final? I knew there wouldn't after last year. We've seen this before. We knew the appetite's there to defend Sam Maguire, and that's exactly what they're doing here in spades at the moment, Kieran.
Absolutely, and look, Armagh, the last 2 years, of course, lost the Ulster final to Derry in 23, Donegal in 24, but they came back and topped their group in each of those years, and it's a tough group, no doubt about it, but Armagh, being All-Ireland champions, that's going to be the target again as they get back under play here.
Armagh's going to set down a mark and say, right, if you want to crack at this is what you're going to have to do, and they're doing exactly that at the moment.
Yeah, Derry take the free, send it out to the wing. Armagh again, they've all the bodies back, a lot of black jerseys inside their own 45-metre line, not a lot of space for Derry to work in. Conor Glass is just about 60 metres from goal, plays it out to Kieran McFall, and again, it's tough for Derry to break through this Armagh defence.
But Derry looks a wee bit toothless up there, especially when it comes to the shooting department, where you've seen the spread of scores from Armagh, a couple of good 2-pointers, Oisin Connolly, Turbo with the 2-pointer. Derry's lacking that. They're sort of probably much relying on mostly Shane McGuigan to kick them scores.
Yeah, just a bit pedestrian at the minute. Derry playing it laterally, and again, I know we've been over this already, but the fact Connolly came into his own half, conceded a free. Derry had a chance to make this a 3-point game with a handy free. They didn't, perhaps weren't tuned in, weren't thinking. Tried to take a quick free in the middle of the field, conceded possession. Turbot makes a 2-pointer. It's a 6-point game.
It's absolutely crazy at this level. Like even at club level, club senior level, you'd be asking a question.
But Derry now are in the attack. Can Ethan Doherty find a bit of space? He can, so has to go back out to Shane McGuigan. We've been saying that a lot. Derry not finding a lot of room inside the Armagh defence. They're outside the 45-metre line. Glass though might have an opening here, but again the space closes quickly. Brendan Rodgers now trying to make a run from deep. He plays it out to the wing. Glass gets it back. He's outside the D, inside the 2-point arc. Glass swings it over the bar. So well worked score there from Derry. In fairness, Conor Glass gets his second of the game. Makes it now 9 points to 4 in favour of Armagh as we approach the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, and that man we said, Shane McGuigan, still hasn't got on the score sheet. He's been well tagged, well marked.
Yeah.
But Glass is getting a bit of space in the one-on-one scenarios around the arc.
Armagh get the kick out away short again, but they're moving it quickly. They're already inside Derry's half the field with Tiernan Kelly out in the right wing in front of the stand. He's carrying it a long way here, Tiernan Kelly. Now he offloads it. Charlie Oak Burns cutting inside. Derry are the team back defending now, but Armagh trying to move it quickly, trying to break through the lines. Yeah, Mernon gets the ball. He's about 50 metres out from goal. Mernon has Grugan for support. Just takes his solo. Nothing too urgent at the moment from Armagh. Oisín Connolly. Charlie Oak Burns, they're the team now in possession, moving it side to side, playing from right to left with the breeze at their backs. Charlie Oak Burns now injects a bit of pace. He plays it to Rory Grugan. Grugan swings towards the post and sends it over the post from the left wing, but Rian O'Neill has gone down, and the crowd certainly spotted something off the ball. I have to be honest, I didn't see it, but O'Neill did go down off the ball during that play in which Rory Grugan scored, and he's holding his face.
Yeah, it was Ross McQuillan went to make a move, and he got your man shouldered him up into the face.
Ross McQuillan, pardon me, he wasn't.
Yeah, he shouldered him up into the face, and nobody really got to see it. He was making a great run inside into the space, but a great point that has to be said by Rory Grugan. Rory seen what happened, checked back inside and swung it over with the left.
Yeah, in fairness, nothing really made of that. McQuillan's back up on his feet, the kick-out's been taken, and Armagh won another dirty ball. Tiernan Kelly, the man who got it. Rodgers got a hand to it for a moment, but it's Kelly come out, and now Armagh moving quickly again. McQuillan's involved in the action. Just the ball slipped through his hands for a moment, but he's able to regather possession. Now Charlie Oak Burns trying to inject a bit of pace again, gives it to Grugan. Grugan's outside the 2-point arc, he gives it to Turbot. Derry now the team trying to work hard, hunting packs. Armagh back out to Rian O'Neill, he's outside the 45-metre line, gives it to Grugan. But Armagh again getting a lot of joy in Derry's kickers. Now Grugan goes to the lateral, kick pass is ambitious, but it's read all the way by Anton Tohill, who's out in front of Ben Creeley. Tohill gets the ball, wins his free, takes a solo goal. Now Derry have
great hands, it has to be said by the young fella. Like it was 2-on-2 in there, and Armagh seemed to be working on something. On what hands by Tohill there, it has to be said.
Derry.
Ben Creeley's not small.
No, not at all. Derry now the team progressing from the defence, crossing halfway is Kieran McFall. Armagh leading this game by 6 points. Still about 15 minutes to go, just under 15 minutes of normal time left in this first half, so still plenty of time for more scores. Armagh will be happy with their work to this point. Derry on the other hand trying to figure out Armagh's defensive conundrum. Again, you're seeing similar scenes. Armagh have every single defender, all 13 of them, or 12 with the 3 up inside their own 2-point arc. With Derry potentially breaking through. Doherty has to go backwards. Will it open up for a chance for Derry just outside the D? Sent towards the post there and splitting the post is Paul Cassidy. First time I said Paul Cassidy's name
Paul Cassidy,
in this
first
game,
time
but
he
I
got
get
on
a
the
good
ball,
contribution.
Paul Cassidy, but in fairness to Cassidy, he can score. He just hasn't got that many opportunities. The Armagh defence have been working overtime.
Yeah, a lot of the Derry attacks have followed a similar pattern. Armagh getting bodies back in. Derry have to take their time, oftentimes in possession for a minute or two before they work it to the shooter.
It's all very workmanlike, and it's very lethargic, so it is from Derry. They're struggling to get any pace on the game at all.
Armagh go long with the kick out, but too long in fact, and that's tailed out over the sideline on the right wing, and Derry get the sideline kick with the make, concede it right back to Armagh. It's a pretty outrageous kick pass from the sideline ball. Andrew Mernon had a chance at intercepting it, but Padraig McGrogan just about did enough to keep him away from the ball, and if he got his hands on it, Mernon, Armagh would have been in for a chance. As it stands though, it's Derry in possession, and it's Conor Glass crossing the 45-metre arc now. He's the man really trying to drive Derry on in this game. He's kicked 2 points, gives it to Shane McGuigan. Derry again having to go side to side, but they're just beginning perhaps to get a little bit more joy now in the attack, but still a lot of work to do, trailing this game by 5 points. Niall Toner, they're still outside the 2-point arc. Back to Ethan Doherty. Doherty's matched up with Barry McCambridge there. He's taking him on, he's playing it down the line. Chance for here from Paul Cassidy. He's just going to take the fisted point. Thought for a moment he was going to be in for a goal chance. Instead, Paul Cassidy takes the fisted point and cuts it to a 4-point game.
Two and quick concession for Paul Cassidy, who didn't get on any ball at all, and then all of a sudden it probably a small bit of a goal chance, wasn't it?
Absolutely, looked like it was opening up.
Oh, well done by Dara.
Dara McMullen came from us. Dickett haven't got time to catch our breaths here. Armagh moving it quick. McMullen, 2-point chance. Sends it towards the post. And it's over the bar. Did the keeper get a touch? The goalkeeper went for it and the goalie did get a touch. So McKinless, the keeper, prevented that from being a 2-pointer. Darren McMullen got it. He was centre in front of the goal, took the shot on. McKinless did enough, tapped it over the bar. So it's a 1-pointer.
That's Darren McMullen's best score in an Armagh jersey yet, because I tell you, the work he had to do to get that ball before that. He made a great move for the kick out out along the stand side. And he went up in the middle of 3 Derry men and still got it. One of them was Conor Glass.
Armagh got the kick out away quickly. We weren't really prepared for it. They got it down the other end in the blink of an eye. Got to McMullen. They've won this Derry kick out as well. Because again, Derry are sending them out to the wing. It's tailed out over the sideline and it's Armagh ball, despite some protests, it seems, from the Derry supporters on that side.
To be honest, I did think that Rain got the last touch on that. He went up to box it there, but the sideline man saying that it hit off Conor Glass last.
Yeah, now Armagh in possession. Charlie Oak Burns crossing the 2-point arc. He's got Conor Turbot out in this left wing, right in front of our possession. Turbot's eyeing up the post. Will he go for another 2-pointer? This will be a spectacular score. Is it going to curl in? It's not. It curls just wide of the far post. So a great effort taken towards the post from Conor Turbot.
Very unlucky there by Conor Turbot. Great check to get himself a wee bit of space. It nearly looked like he was going to go in behind. He actually checked back out again. For the exact same position where he did kick the 2-pointer and just put the wrong side of the post.
If you're just joining us, folks, Oisín O'Neill started this game about 15 minutes or so into the game, had to be taken off, and Conor Turbot has come in his place. Derry moved the kick out away quickly. Good hand in from Oisín Connolly. Now Armagh have numbers. Steaming forward. Kieran Kelly gives it to Andrew Murnan. Murnan's got McQuillan. McQuillan just loses his handle at the last moment. Armagh on the byline now, but they work it back out to Murnan. Potential goal chance for Andrew Murnan. He just got a tap and over the box for 15 metres out. Armagh won the kick out, worked it quickly, got it to Murnan, and Murnan makes it 12
Fast hands by Armagh in the small area there was absolutely phenomenal. Ross McQuillan did drop it initially, but how quick they recovered that ball. Darren McMullen slipped the ball back to Andrew Murnan. Great scores. Small bit of a goal chance, but I think Murnan took the right option, keep the scoreboard ticking.
Absolutely. Murnan second of the game. Armagh getting a good spread of the game, and yeah, as you said, 12 points to 6 Armagh lead as we cross the 25-minute mark in this game. Inlis now sends the kick out to this wing again, the right wing for Derry, and Ben Creeley's going towards it. He punches it down. Rian O'Neill has it again. Armagh winning kick out after kick out, and now Charlie Oak Burns has it in the Derry half of the field. Has to just recycle it back out to Darren McMullen. Armagh have been playing at some pace throughout this game, but just a moment perhaps to catch our breath a little bit. Rian O'Neill might have other ideas though. He's carrying the ball down the right wing. O'Neill might go for this, you know. He's been bottled up now though by the Derry defence. Has to work it to Rory Grugan. Right out on the sideline there, the right wing. He works it back out to Ethan Rafferty in the centre of the pitch. Rafferty takes a solo. Is he going to shoot here, Rafferty, in the 45-metre line? It would have been an outstanding effort, but you can tell.
Just leaning back with that connection. Tried to dummy the. Oh, see, the referee's going to award to Ross McQuillan. Ross is saying, indicating to the linesman that he can hit up in the face, but Conor Glass got away with it. But back to that shot there by tried to dummy Toner, and Toner didn't buy it, but did manage to get the shot away, but just leaning back and unlucky there from Ethan Rafferty. Yeah,
Rafferty's been involved in this game as well, getting forward at times. Derry get the kick out now right down the middle of the field. It's a lot of bodies underneath it. Ben Creeley and Tohill are the two closest men to it, and it ends up in the hands of a Derry man after the breaking ball. It was Niall Toner who got it, and now Derry.
That's the first breaking ball, Kieran, in a long time that they've won, because Armagh has probably won 6 or 7.
Armagh leading this game 12 points to 6. 26 and a half minutes gone. Derry now again just wanting to slow things down a little bit at times. When the game's been helter-skelter, it seems to favour Armagh. Derry a bit more pragmatic in the attack, having to figure out this Armagh defence. Now Kieran McFall out on the stand side, the left wing for Derry. Cassidy, he's got the last 2 scores for Derry, has to work it back out.
Yeah, Armagh's definitely getting those scores a wee bit easier down the other end, but Derry's having to work overtime to try and get a bit of space.
Yeah, now McGuigan has it in his hands. He's inside the 2-pointer, he plays it inside as a goal chance going to open up. Armagh bottle that up, so they have to recycle it back out to Conor Glass, and Glass from about 20 metres out sends it high and sends it over the bar. So a good score from Glass, his third of the game.
Probably going to have to tighten up a wee bit on Conor Glass. He's getting a lot of space there because the other guys are getting marked, and Glass has kicked 3 points in play.
Yeah, McGuigan got his hands on the ball. That probably drew the Armagh defence out. He fist passed inside to Conor Doherty. Doherty could have went for goal, but Armagh bottled him up quickly. He worked it back out to Glass, and Glass, it was an easy tap over from Anna, his quality. He sent it over. A couple of Derry supporters not happy, thought maybe Armagh went a bit too short on the kick out, and Charlie Oak Burns is inside his own 2-metre arc, but the referee's happy with it now. Derry, in fairness, keep the high press on. They nearly got a turnover. Shane McGuigan actually did knock the ball out of Condy's hands, but Rian O'Neill was there helping out his teammate. Armagh still have possession of the ball around midfield.
One thing Rian is doing in this game, he's winning a lot of dirty ball. And he's so hard to pin down because he's that big and strong. He's fit to get out.
Yeah, Armagh in black jerseys today, all black. Don't think we've ever seen Rian O'Neill wear a number 6 jersey for Armagh, but I suppose in the modern game, numbers don't really mean anything. Armagh playing from right to left. They have it inside their own half at the minute. Paddy Burns in possession of the ball. But there you're keeping a press on Armagh. Just need to be a little bit careful here. Charlie O'Burns has it. He's the deepest man, an outfielder for Armagh. Of course, they can't pass it back deep enough.
Shane McGuigan's actually signalling as he was unhappy with his own Derry teammates to push up the field and to stay high. But
yeah, Armagh still camped inside their own half. It's kind of a half press from Derry. They're keeping bodies inside, but Armagh just fist passing it between the defenders here, Paddy Burns and Peter McGrain. Now Darren McMullen's come back, but again, if Derry can get a hand in, they'd be in a dangerous position. Instead, Darren McMullen shows a great turn of pace, and now he's crossing the halfway line. And all of a sudden, it turns from defence into attack for Armagh. Darren McMullen crosses the 45-metre line. He's carried the ball a long way, passes it off to Jason Duffy. Duffy inside to Kelly. Will he get it back? Kelly now, potential shooting chance for Armagh. Brian McCambridge back to Cambridge. On the line, superb black from Derry. The shot beat the goalkeeper, but Derry got him on back.
I think that was Niall Toner got the big block in the line. The keeper was bad.
Armagh still have it though. They're now outside the 2-point arc. Kruger might give it a 2-point shot here. He's well out. It's going to drop short. Mernan's underneath it. McKinless breaks on it though. The Derry goalkeeper, and they get away with it. But Armagh, a big goal chance there. We saw McCambridge score a few goals in key matches in the All-Ireland quarter-final, the All-Ireland semi-final last year.
I tell
he got
you
number
what,
3 in his back, but he got forward there.
In fairness to McCambridge, he hit that with some power. Yeah. And Niall Toner did phenomenal work to get that off the line.
Yeah, keeper was beaten. Toner was in the right place at the right time. Good reading of the game from him. The corner forward turned into a corner back momentarily, and a huge moment for Derry as Armagh lead this game by 5. That will push the mate out in front, of course. Derry have the ball, they're right down on the right wing as Tohill carried out of play. He has carried out of play under pressure from Charlie O'Burns. And Charlie O'Burns is getting through some amount of work for Armagh.
Absolutely excellent. He put up a big leap there again. Tohill was going to fetch that ball and would have got an offensive mark, but he actually put up a big leap and broke the ball forward and tussled him, used his strength to get him out over the line. And great defending again, has to be said by Armagh.
Yeah, he's having an excellent game, Charlie O'Burns. Having an excellent season, Charlie O'Burns, and now again Armagh carrying the ball out of defence. Peter McGrain showing a turn of pace to get away from his man. He's crossing the halfway line now. He's looking for support. Plays it forward here to Ben Creeley, and Creeley's got ahead of Conor Glass. He's going side. Creeley outside the D. Conor Glass, superb blocks from Glass. Good working back. Creeley thought that he was away from Glass. I thought he was away from Glass, but in fairness, Glass kept chasing back and got the hand and got the turnover.
A phenomenal block. We've seen him make a phenomenal block already in this game, and now we've seen Glass do it to him.
But Armagh thought they had a turnover, but judged for a foul is Conor Turbett as Derry are bringing the ball out of defence. So it's Derry free on their own 2-metre arc. 2-point arc.
Yeah, fortunate there from Derry because Armagh thought had them turned over was soft, but they've got away with it.
Derry now the team playing out of the defence, and Armagh the team keeping players forward, trying to hem them in. Conor Glass has it right on the left wing. He plays it down the lane to Kieran McFall. McFall is Rogers for support, doesn't use him. He's right around the midfield arc, and Armagh battling so hard for a turnover. They almost got one. But Toner retains possession, but Derry gives them the ball, slips through the hands for Patrick McGurk, somehow stays alive with Brendan Rodgers helping him out. Now Derry have it. It's a bit messy, but Derry have it inside the Armagh 45-metre line. Rory Forbes out in this right wing. He's been forced wide. McGuigan has it. He's going to give it a go. Be a super score from the right wing on his left boot. McGuigan yet to score in this game. It would only be a 1-pointer, but it's a superb point from Shane McGuigan. He hasn't got a whole lot of space. He hasn't got a whole lot of chances. They wouldn't call that a high percentage shot from McGuigan right out towards this right wing, but he curls over on his left foot.
Yeah, tell you that's a phenomenal score there under serious pressure there, and Derry badly needed a score. They were trailing 12-7 and now it's 12-8, but what a score.
Yeah, Armagh lead by 4 points with just under 4 minutes to go of an overtime. Armagh have a sideline ball, and again Armagh get the kick out of way short to Charlie O'Burns. He's showing for it, he's making himself available.
The smartness out of Ross McQuillan there was unbelievable. He knew he was going to go out over the line and he hand passed it off the Derry man's foot.
Yeah,
very smart. Yeah.
They have it now inside the Derry half. Oisín Connolly, he's got Rian O'Neill to his right, he's got Jason Duffy to his left. He gives it to O'Neill. O'Neill might fancy this from inside the 45-metre line. Rian O'Neill.
No,
sent it wide, unfortunately. We're ready for the Box of Athletic Grounds tour up. Rian O'Neill took the shot on from it just inside the 45-metre line, but tail just wide
had
of the
post. Distance, but just the wrong side of the post, and it was a great effort by Rian O'Neill, but I'd say that's not the last we'd have seen of that today.
Derry this time go short on the kick. It's really the first time they've had the option to go short. Armagh have been pressing up all game, but as we approach the halfway mark of this game, Derry get a short away to Owen McAvoy. Now they're working it well down the left wing. Brendan Rodgers is already in an advanced position. He crosses the 2-point arc, gives it inside. Will a chance open up here for Derry? Potential goal chance for Derry. Sent up high, but sent just over the bar. It was well worked from Rodgers down the wing. He got it down the line to the number 12, Ethan Doherty. Doherty might have been trying to take the roof off the net there from about 20 metres out, 50 metres out.
Doherty had a big chance there, Kieran, a big chance in putting that in the back of the net.
Yeah, he cut inside the Armagh defence, got it on his right foot from the left of the goals, and it was sort of that half goal chance think he was trying to power it into the net just over the bar. It's a let off for Armagh, 12 points tonight, but Derry win an Armagh kick out. I think it's the first time I've said that.
Yeah.
Rafi went long, Paul Cassidy turned him over. Now Derry might just have a bit of momentum, and look, for all of Armagh, as much as we've praised them and as much as they've dominated this game, they're only 3 points up.
They've got a few scores, they've got a few scores, they've got themselves back into the game here. It's back to 3 points.
And now Niall Toner in 2 point territory. He's not going to give it again. Derry playing from left to right, playing into a strong breeze. Has to recycle out, but Derry will be very happy, I think, Johnny, to be within a score of Armagh. On the balance of play, Armagh have won a lot of dirty ball, they've won a lot of kickouts, they've taken good scores, and yet Derry just perhaps a bit under the radar, I feel like, just chipping away at scores, and this is still game on, certainly with Derry having the breeze in the second half.
Absolutely, and if that there had to hit the net, there definitely wouldn't be much in it. So, but we sort of thinking Armagh might like to get this ball back and maybe finish strong here.
90 seconds to go in this first half. Derry now, by the looks of it, they just want to play through the hands. They want to be the team to take the last shot, I feel like, in this first half. The hooter is in operation for this game, so it's not a televised game, but the hooter is in operation with it being senior championship. So worth pointing out that once that goes, of course, the ball goes dead, that's the end of the first half. But Derry in possession, not really doing a whole pile with it. You've got Kieran McFall out around the halfway line, just taking a solo, playing it out to the wing, and you can tell what they're trying to do.
Derry be absolutely delighted, Kieran, if they can run this clock down a wee bit, maybe try and get another score, and not leave much in it going into half time.
And it might just open up. Ethan Doherty had ran at the Armagh defence, but again, just retreats out, plays it back out, takes a safe option. Derry have it about 55-60 metres out from Armagh's goal. Brendan Rodgers. Again, no real urgency here from Derry. They're probably happy with the scoreline as it is. They want to take the last shot in this first half, but Rodgers twisted and turned. He's got Darren McMullen to contend with. Plays it back out to Shane McGuigan. McGuigan's probably the man they want to shoot, but he doesn't on this occasion. He plays it back out to Conor Glass. Derry have it now 50 metres out from the Armagh goal again. Just recycling possession. We are about 30 seconds or so now from the end of this first half. Derry doing exactly what we thought they were going to do, keeping the possession of the ball. They want to work something. Armagh really camped in their defence here. No real urgent press really from Armagh either. Derry just in possession of the ball. Everyone's ticking out the last few seconds. I think a few of the supporters are heading to the shop as well here, to the bathroom for the half-time break, but Derry aren't worrying about that at the minute. They're trying to worry about getting the last shot.
They've had this ball a right bit of time here now, Kieran.
10 seconds to go in this first half before the hooter blows, and then Derry might just show a wee bit more urgency, but Armagh haven't touched the ball, as you said, Johnny, in a while. Derry just going laterally forwards and backwards here, and the hooter blows. So that's it, 35 minutes played now. Derry, will they take a shot? Will they show a wee bit more urgency? Ethan Doherty might be the man to be driving the Armagh defence. It might open up here for Derry. Plays it off, balance roll, goal, chance for Derry. He sent it high, he sent it into the sky, but he sent it wide over the uprights. So a big chance for Derry, and a big chance missing Derry, and you hear from the roar of the Armagh crowd, a bit of a let off for Armagh.
Massive miss there by the young fella. He actually probably had a bit of a goal chance there, and a half a goal chance if he had looked to move his body, but he went to pull the trigger, leaned away back, under a lot of pressure from Armagh defenders, has to be said, that blew it wide.
Yeah, so Derry worked that really well, worked it through the hands, were patient. The hooter went, and then Ethan Doherty showed that burst of pace. He drove at the Armagh defence, did really well, laid it off the toe. As you said, he's in the centre of the goals, perhaps could have went for goals. He sent it high, sent it in the sky, but crucially for Armagh, he sent it wide of the post, and a let off for Armagh. But look, what's your take on it, Johnny? It's the half-time whistle just gone.
My take on it is just
Armagh.
the Derry fans are running after clapping the Derry men in at half-time. They've dug themselves back into this game a wee bit whenever it was double scores, Kieran.
Yeah.
And from it was double scores, when it was down to 12-6, Armagh haven't scored since. They've got 3 points on the trot. And they've made it now competitive now, at least for the start of the second half. But what a game of football we're having here.
Absolutely, yeah. You have to give a lot of credit to Derry as that first half went on. Of course, we lean with Armagh TV, we lean Armagh anyway, but it's fair to say Armagh were on top. They were the better team, winning a lot of ball, winning kickouts, kicking good scores, and yet they got out as far as 6 points in front. But as you said, Derry now are well in this game.
There's no doubt about it. You call it a spade, and Armagh was a better team in that first half. Listen, it is championship football at the end of the day. They're 3 points up at half time. They'll take it, reset, and go again.
Yeah, but Conor Turbett in for Oisín O'Neill throughout that first half. He could be a miss. Oisín O'Neill in the second half, he's having a great season. Kicked 7 points against Donegal in the Ulster final, and you reckon it's a hamstring injury, so that could be something to worry about.
Same with ice there in the hamstring, so I see that, Conor Turbett, what a man to bring in, and no doubt we're going to see Soup Campbell as well is going to come into the fray here, probably with about 15 or 20 minutes to go, Kieran.
Well, it's a big championship match. There's one Armagh man who probably knows about big championship matches more than anybody else, and he's joining Michael Lavery at the minute. Stevie McDonald's pitch side.
All right, welcome back pitch side. Armagh 3 points to the good there at half time, 12 points to 9. Stevie McDonald joins me again. Stevie, as we were mentioning there just off our, Armagh sort of started off well. They got out of the blocks right and quickly, and then Derry sort of got themselves back into that.
Yeah, Derry were patient and waited their opportunities and got themselves back in, particularly in the last 10 minutes. Armagh probably gave them a few opportunities to get back into the game. They missed three scoring opportunities. One was unfortunate with the goal chance with Barry McCambridge cleared off the line. He done everything right. He kicked the low and hard and beat the keeper, and it's hard to beat that there. But and then Rain's opportunity that for a 2-pointer just drifted wide, and Derry went up the field and scored points off that there, and you have to be more clinical than at this stage of the competition, and that's the reality.
And there was a couple of 2-point efforts there for Armagh that went missing as well. Turbo had one just down here behind us. Ethan Rafferty kicked one as well. But in terms of the scores that they did get, Oisín Connolly, he was full of pace just in those first sort of 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, Oisín, he's been an unbelievable player for Armagh over the last 12 months, so he has. And the pace and his ball carrying skills gets them into really good positions for scores. If Oisín keep that form going, because we're going to need him in the second half. There is a bit of a breeze here, and Armagh is going to be playing against the second half, but sometimes that'll suit the team as well. But what I would say is, yeah, Turbo had. I was glad to see Turbo having to go for the 2-pointers. He kicked one, and why not have another go? It's good to see a player, having a bit of confidence to go for the long-range efforts, and he done that. He was just unfortunate they dropped wide, but Derry were probably a wee bit reluctant to go for 2-point efforts, given the fact that there is a wee bit of a win. So it'll be interesting to see if Armagh are going to be as reluctant in the second half, and if they are, then we're going to have to try to thread the ball in a wee bit closer to goal and take our 1-pointers.
That win maybe wasn't as strong just before throw-in at the start of the first half. I think it's got that little bit stronger over the first half. So, tactics sort of change as the game goes on. And I mean, even with the introduction of Conor Turbot, he wasn't starting. Oisín O'Neill had to make way. In terms of then going that other direction, we've seen, as you mentioned, what Derry were doing. It's the ball through the hands and it's the runs off the shoulders that are going to be key, and getting inside that sort of gap that forms around the arc in this second half, isn't it?
Yeah, Armagh has some really good ball carriers. Charlie Oakes very good at it, Darren McMullen's good at it, Ross McQuillan's good at it, but these boys have to go at pace. The key to carrying the ball against the wind is going at pace and having support runners off the shoulder. If they can do that instead of being ponderous and slow in possession, then they're going to create opportunities, and the more opportunities they create, the more you'd expect them to take.
And just for the Derry folk that are watching, I suppose we have to give them their flowers there as well in that first half. Brandon Rogers, Conor Glass is brilliant as always for them.
Very good players, great season campaigners for them, and once you've got that quality and calibre in your team, you're always going to have a chance. I said before the game, Derry have been waiting for 7 weeks to get their opportunity, and what an opportunity to come up against the All-Ireland champions, and they're certainly not letting themselves down.
And how difficult do you think that would be for Derry to sort of go that long without any real meaningful competition, considering where they were over the past couple of years, to drop off maybe as much as they have, to not be without sort of competitive football until this stage of the year, and to sort of gee yourself back up then for a match like this?
Yeah, it would have been difficult enough, but there's a lot of hurt in that Derry camp, so there is, and hurt can carry you a long way, and their performances haven't been to the level that we would have expected a couple of years ago over the last 12 months or so, but as I said, they have an experienced team, a lot of hurt in the camp, and that would have drove them all in the last 7 weeks. And as I say, playing against the wind, they're only 3 points down the second half, and if Armagh give them space for 2-pointers, they've got players that can kick them, so we have to close out and try to condense that space as much as possible.
So what is Armagh's keys to closing out then? There's only 3 points in it, as we say there now. How far ahead do you reckon they would have to get themselves at the start of this second half to sort of see off Derry?
Well, the thing that is good about Armagh, they are composed on the ball, so they don't tend to rush things too much, but I would like to see a bit more pace coming from defence to attack with Armagh. We've got pacey guys that can carry the ball. Ross McQuillan probably hasn't got into the game just as much. What we like to see, Charlie Oak, Darren McMullen, I mentioned them already. We want them boys getting on the ball, getting the ball to the shooters as much as possible, and if we can do that, then they'll
just in us that this is an audio only stream for the second half, so there will be no actual footage of the match. But as for now, half-time score is Armagh 12, Derry 9.
So folks, we're just going to step away for a moment. The audio is going to go on mute, but don't be afraid, we'll be right back to the second half of action in a few minutes' time. So we're almost up and running now in the second half, folks. Myself, Kieran Lynch, today's commentator, joined once again by former Armagh footballer Johnny Murder for the second half of action. Look, Johnny, we're repeating ourselves, I suppose, but for about 25 minutes there, Armagh were excellent. Last 10 minutes, Derry were on top, pulled it back to a one-score game. And do you think there's a factor? Armagh played 2 weeks ago. They played full throttle championship match for 90 minutes against Donegal. Is there an element of tiredness comes into it, do you think?
It is, and also, like, what people aren't seeing at home is that when Derry gets the ball, they're slowing it right down, so they're taking the sting out of the game. When Armagh gets it, they're injecting a lot of pace into it. Armagh done great work to get a load of good scores there, especially won an awful lot of break ball. Unlucky with a couple of goal chances. Derry had a couple of half goal chances, not really the same for me, to be honest. You're sort of waiting on Armagh to get that big goal, so there's one cleared off the line there brilliantly by Niall Toner. Great shot by Barry McCambridge. So look, I would expect us probably to kick on a wee bit now the second half. I think Geezer will get stuck in and say, right, you have a job to do here. Let's try and push on.
Well, you mentioned it there. When in those last 10 minutes or so before the half, when Derry got them few scores, Barry McCambridge did have that shot clear off the line. Rian O'Neill had a 2-pointer, which was just outside the post, which you even said to me off camera at half time. Rian O'Neill puts that over the bar, the place are ups, and then who knows what the half time score is.
Exactly, you'll be probably looking at Armagh going in at least maybe 6 up at half time. There's a big swing. Just Derry got the next kick out after that, and then they got the next break from the Armagh kick out, which something they hadn't been getting. So in fairness to Rafferty, I thought he's been solid in there. He's done a good job. His kick-outs have been good. But I still think there's a big, massive kick in Armagh, and Armagh's got the bench. This is the big thing. We've talked about this all before, especially with the intensity Armagh plays at. You have a serious amount of men. Stephen Campbell probably come in there. Callum O'Neill, who is unlucky not to start today. Thomas McCormick, we've seen a lot of him. They have a couple of good options in defence. Joe McElroy's back as well. Keane McConville. Shane McParland, who's come on a couple of games there as well. So a lot of options there.
Yeah, and look, we're not missing anything, folks at home. The two teams still inside the changing rooms. The conditions have been poor. There's a wind blowing right to left as we look at it, which would favour Derry in the second half. Makes things perhaps a little bit more interesting now, because Armagh have had the breeze at their backs. How much do you read into that a lot, Johnny? Do you feel like it's a breeze worth any number of scores?
No, not really for me now, to be honest. I think the big kickers for Armagh and the big kickers for both teams. I don't think the breeze really annoys them that much. With a small breeze slightly going from left to right. So, like, it's not going to bother Rian O'Neill or Conor Turbot shooting up this other end, and you might leave it slightly easier for Shane McGuigan and these guys, but no, I don't think it's a massive factor. It's not even moderate.
Yeah, it's certainly wet, there's no doubt about that, and driving rain as well. So tough conditions. We've seen a few handling errors, in fairness, from both sides. The officials are back out in the field, players still yet to join us. Huge crowd, 15,000 strong here in the box at Athletic Grounds. Great atmosphere. I'd say, Johnny, maybe 80-90% of that Armagh people, and they always get behind their team. Of course, last year winning the All-Ireland certainly helps, but Armagh fans always come out and support this group of players.
Absolutely, they're phenomenal fans, they're the best in Ireland, and you see from the Derry ones as well. In fairness, they've done the best they could to get behind their team there at half time, going in. There seems to be a lot of family and friends and different things there from Derry, but definitely Armagh's outnumbering them. Just probably want to give a small mention there as well. I just heard there that Louis McCreesh from Cullyhanna had passed away, so send me deepest condolences to St Patrick's Cullyhanna Club, and a real good club man and everything else, so I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. We send on our thoughts and prayers. Still players yet to come out from the changing rooms. Just referee Sean Hurston and his linesmen alone in the middle of the field, and we're running a campaign, of course, with Armagh in terms of the facilities. Derry, as an example, have wonderful facilities up in Owen Beg. A lot of county teams, top county teams, need great facilities. That's what Armagh are trying to do at the minute with the win with Armagh GAA. They're running the house draw, and Johnny, can you speak to that even from your own experiences? Go down to Callan Bridge. What it'll mean to have multiple full-size pitches, a top-class gym, and wonderful facilities befitting a team like Armagh.
It's having that base, the centre of excellence, is going to be very, very important to move Armagh to the next level yet again. They've worked tirelessly hard, Geezer and his team, over the last 10 years to build a hold. Exactly what they wanted, what it said in the tin. We've seen the rewards of that last year. Armagh football is in a very healthy position, and an appeal to everybody to get behind it. This will be a massive operation whenever it comes. you know, and Cannon Bridge had its day, it had its purpose. Unfortunately, Armagh's got so bigger and better, and they've sort of outlived it at this stage. So a centre of excellence is what we need here, and the same as the rest of the big guns.
Yeah, and certainly a great prize on offer as well. Brand new house in Uri, or if you don't fancy that, 200 grand doesn't sound too bad.
Well, I would take either, whichever you want to give me here at the moment in time.
That's the Armagh team making their way onto the field now, as you can tell by the supporters. We are engulfed in our current commentary position by orange and white. It's Armagh actually in black today, and they'll now play from left to right in the second half. They're the first team out of the changing rooms.
Doesn't look to be any changes, I don't think, at the moment.
Yeah, just that first half change to remind you folks, or if you join us late, Ashton O'Neill started the game but had to come off after about 15 minutes or so with a hamstring injury. Conor Turbett come on, kicked a wonderful 2-pointer, nearly doubled that in fact, but set the second shot just outside the post. And now the Derry team emerging from the change rooms, led by Conor Glass, big presence. And look, although we were critical of Derry at times in the first half, one man who has stood out from the start of this game has been Conor Glass. 3 points and an excellent block as well. Really.
Absolutely, hit the nail on the head yet again, Kieran. You're on the ball. Conor Glass kept that scoreboard ticking for Derry, and he single-handedly probably got them back into a bit of shape into that game with big scores. 3 points in play from the midfielder. He's definitely going to have to take closer order on him now this half.
Yeah, excitement now building.
Yeah, he's moved in. Shane McGuigan's now going out to the sideline, and something they're going to try and work on to get Derry on the ball here. And Conor Glass has won the centre half forward.
Yeah, Sean Hurson has the ball in his hands. He's telling the players to get back behind the 45-metre arc. He's got Ben Creeley and Tohill there in the middle who will contest this high ball. Just a 1v1 now with the new rules, of course. Derry playing from right to left in the second half with the breeze at their backs. Armagh in all black, playing from left to right. Derry in the white with their
as we said here, both linesmen is actually out on the field telling players on both sides to keep them back from the throw-up. It's really unusual stuff, this. Both linesmen are in.
But now eventually we're back underway. Hurson throws it in the air. It's Tohill and Creeley. Tohill gets his hand to it, but Armagh win the breaking ball at Tierney Kelly, flying from centre half back position. And now Armagh go on the attack the first time.
Kelly done phenomenal work there on strength and power to hold on to that ball.
Charlie O'Byrne's on the left wing, gives it out. Conor Turbett's in 2-point range again. Armagh perhaps playing into the breeze would be less inclined. If that was in the first half, I think Turbett might have taken the shot on there on his right boot. Instead they recycle it back out, and Armagh have possession on the left wing. Yeah. Charlie O'Byrne's, Darren McMullen.
Cambridge is hooking round the back of this 45 here as an option, and he gets it.
Armagh just being patient now in possession of the ball outside the 45-metre line. McCambridge works it back out to Oisin Connery. Derry set in their defence. Armagh trying to figure it out. Rian O'Neill gives the fist pass inside. Can they inject a bit of pace into this? Jason Duffy has it. Twists and turns. Back out to Ross McQuillan. Taking on Niall Turner. McQuillan gets it onto his right foot. He's about 30 metres out. McQuillan, it'd be a great score if he gets it, and indeed it is. A wonderful score. Hurled in from the right wing on his right foot. Just snuck inside the near hand post. A great start to the second half.
Absolutely phenomenal there by Ross McQuillan. Used his pace to give himself a bit of room on his opposite side. What a beautiful score. That's the second point of the game. He's continuing on with his good form.
Yeah, he's made a good start to the season. Ross McQuillan, he's having probably the season of his career. And if you remember last year, these teams met in Celtic Park. McQuillan wasn't getting a whole lot of minutes. They put him in from the start that day, and he was excellent. In fact, he came on after 10 minutes, I should say. Armagh break the Derry kick out more pressingly here in the box of the athletic grounds. They're in possession of the ball. Inside now, Conor Turbett, he's out in the left wing. Half a chance maybe building here for Armagh. They're heading towards the byline. Two Clan Iron men involved, Tierney Kelly and Conor Turbett. Turbett has to go all the way back out. Charlie O'Byrne has it. Barry McCambridge, pardon me, outside the Derry 45-metre line. So Armagh had a recycled possession back out. McCambridge does well, drives through the line, gives it inside here to Jason Duffy. Duffy out in the right wing. Chance for a fisted effort, goes for it and fisted over the bar.
Working very hard there, Jason Duffy. He made very hard yards there, as did McCambridge. Seeing the gap. Like we've been saying in the first half, they're looking for that one-on-one scenario to take on the man with power and pace, and a great score again. Armagh sending out a message here early on here in the second half.
Yeah, got their hands on the ball first, scored through McQuillan, overturned the Derry kick out and scored again. So a great start from Armagh. They lead the game 14 points to 9. And Ben Creeley breaks this kick out now out under the stand. Armagh win yet another kick out, and again they want to move quick. Conor Turbett has it in the left wing. He's got Charlie O'Byrne with him for support. Turbett driving on strong, gives it to Charlie O'Byrne, and another chance, and he picks it up on the ball. Could have went for goal. Charlie O'Byrne elected not to, took the fisted point, and just like that, Armagh restore that.
Wise decision. Keep the scoreboard ticking. They've Derry on the rack here at the minute. Ben Creeley has been excellent. He's caught the first kick out. He's punched down the second one. Armagh sending it. And yet another big score there, and they're going after Derry hard here on the big press.
McKinless goes to the left wing. Ross McQuillan reads it all the way though. Another kick out 1-4. That's 3 in a row. In fairness, Derry are battling hard for possession, but a foul committed there by the Derry man on Rory Grugan to come in to help. It was Jimmy Baker committed the foul. Armagh once again in possession of the ball right around the middle of the field, out on the right wing as we look at it right in front of our possession.
The appetite on the break ball here from Armagh. They're very hungry.
Andrew Murnan has it now. Another chance open up for. He's in a lot of space here, Andrew Murnan. He's just going to take a handy point. Derry, where no man's land there. They're at 6s and 7s. Allowed Andrew Murnan the freedom of the box to let it out. He carried the ball forward, sent it up and over the bar for his third of the game.
Third point and great score again, but Derry completely is at 6s and 7s here. All of a sudden they're back completely off.
So a change being made now.
Has gone off here.
Anton Tohul, as you called, his championship debut comes to an end. It's going to be Dan Higgins. A lot of unfamiliar faces, certainly from our perspective, as a neutral or as an Armagh.
He is a big man, Higgins. He's a big, strong man, and he's replaced the big, strong man.
Yeah. Straight away coming in. This game is 16 points to 9 in favour of Armagh. We're about 38 and a half minutes gone, just inside the second half. Connor Glass is the intended target. Andrew Murnan breaks it again. And a battle for possession. Glass goes diving in. Rian O'Neill, there seemed to be a bit of a collision there, an accidental collision between O'Neill and Glass. A nasty one potentially. Glass by taking a knock to the head there. The referee's putting his hand up to signify a stoppage in the game, a stoppage of the clock, and Glass needs treatment.
Well, it was very, the ball broke there, and everybody was going in for this very slippy conditions. I don't think there was any malice in it at all. I think both men was going wholeheartedly for the ball. I don't think there's a lot, and I think Glass would probably be okay here, Kieran.
Yeah, it's another feature, isn't it? Because there's a lot of 50-50 battles, a lot of players get into a ruck, but it's so easy then at the same time. We saw it in the club game last week, Armagh Harps and Cross, for players going full throttle for the ball, can clash heads and injuries can occur.
A nasty collision there, yeah, absolutely. And
Glass, potentially a bit of blood here as well, receiving treatment, so just a break in the play here.
Bit of a nosebleed maybe, but what a leap by Andrew Murnan there to get up there and break that ball. It looked like there was glasses all day long, and he got a great break.
Yeah, and in fairness, Glass down receiving treatment, as you said. Bit of blood on his face, but it'll take a lot to take Conor Glass off the field in this environment.
It will, absolutely, and it didn't seem to bother Rian much. He's up smiling away.
Yeah, just an accidental head knock there. Glass is responsive, he's chatting away.
But what about that start from the second half from Armagh?
Absolutely.
We knew Kieran McGeaney would get stuck in them at half time, and told him the importance of this game and the 2 points here to get a win, especially if we want to go further on defend Sam Maguire. This will be a massive win here.
Flying out of the traps. So 3 points in at half time. McQuillan scored, then you had Jason Duffy, Jorley Oak Burns, Andrew Murnan all chipping in 4 points. We're not even 4 minutes into the second half. The clock is stopped there at 38-42 here on the scoreboard in the stadium. 16 points to 9 in favour of Armagh, a 7-point gap, and even if there is a breeze favouring Derry, you figure it's going to be a long way back, and they need to engineer something. They need to just probably break Armagh's momentum, and I know it's accidental, and Glass won't be thinking this at the minute, but this mightn't be a bad thing for Derry. Just calms things down a little bit.
Absolutely, they'll be thinking it. These guys aren't slow, and this is what he'll be doing. Like, Glass hasn't went to the sideline for treatment here. He's staying on the field. He's not moving. Bit of a nosebleed. Probably by right should leave the field and a blood sub, but the referee person is happy enough with it at the minute.
Yeah,
it's just gone a wee bit quiet here, folks. That's the only thing. He's still down getting treatment.
Yeah, and the rain is on as well here. So credit to supporters for coming out in their numbers. 15,000 here in the Backs Athletic Grounds. But if you weren't able to make it, thank you very, very much for joining us today for our radio coverage here of this game. We hope that we're doing it justice. We hope that we're doing this Armagh performance justice, because they're playing very, very well, Johnny. I know Derry probably had about a 10-minute purple patch in that first half, but in general, Armagh have been the hungrier of the two teams. They're winning a lot of the dirty ball and taking quality scores as well.
Yeah, absolutely, taking quality scores. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. And it has to be said, I was lucky enough to play on some great grounds in Ireland, and this here in full capacity is an unbelievable place to play. You know, there's even opposition players, some of the guys I'll be talking to from all over Ireland, they love playing in athletic grounds. Yeah. It's a great entertaining base for football for both teams.
Yeah, Glass is back up on his feet, still receiving treatment at the minute. That's the round of applause. He's still in the middle of the field. You'd imagine he'll be taken off, even if only temporarily, here for Derry, with the doctor working on him. Still play stopped here at the Box of Athletic Grounds. Armagh full value at the minute for that 7-point lead, but as we mentioned already, with Armagh flying out of the traps in the second half, 4 points in quick succession, the break and play, even though it was obviously accidental, might just suit Derry. And even in the style of football we've seen the two teams, when Derry have been at their best in this first half, it's been slow, pragmatic, just punching holes in that Armagh defence.
But it has to be said that the Armagh defence has been excellent. They're very well organised, very hard to break down, but Derry has been patient, and at times it has worked for them just to slow it down, you know, to stop the momentum.
Yeah, still a break and play here at the Box Athletic Ground, so everybody just trying to stay warm.
The crowd's getting a wee bit unhappy here. Probably surprised he's on his feet and he's not heading towards the sideline.
Yeah, I think the crowd growing a bit impatient here, in fairness. Glass is going to have to go to the line surely after that long period of treatment.
No, he's continuing
he
on.
is not heading towards the line.
Strange decision.
And when play resumes, there's going to be a throw up here. We've got Ben Creeley in for Armagh. We've got the number 9 Conor Doherty in there. In fact, there's the number 18 Dan Higgins, the man who's just come on for Derry. And it looks like it's Derry ball from that throw up. Derry do indeed get a free after all that. Derry have the ball. We're back in play, moving the ball from right to left, right around the middle of the field. And Derry haven't really gone on the attack so far in the second half. So now a chance for them to get something going. Shane McGuigan has the ball in his hands, but still some 50 metres out from goal. Ethan Doherty in possession now in the left wing. He's kicked 2 points, made a couple of driving runs into that Armagh defence as well. He's been one of the standouts for Derry, the number 12. But at the minute we're seeing what we saw a lot in the first half. Armagh retreating back, restricting the space, and Derry just having to play laterally. But Glass is fit to continue. He gives it to Brendan Rodgers. Rodgers is going to give it an ambitious go here from outside the 2-point arc. Well wide, it's taking a couple of jeers from the Armagh supporters as well. It was ambitious. But with Armagh setting up defensively and with Derry not having a whole lot of space, perhaps just a little bit of impatience there from Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, and to be honest, Kieran, they didn't look to have a pile of other options. Like the game had stopped there for a good period of time. There's no reason why Derry shouldn't have had a wee bit of appetite. And I tell you, it's a bad enough sign there from Derry. To be honest, they didn't look too interested there. He didn't have any options. He had to pull the trigger.
And that again, a feature of the way Armagh are defending, getting bodies back and making life difficult for Derry. And now Armagh quickly moving it on the attack. Rory Grugan's on the right wing. He wants to cut on his left foot. He has all the time and space. Twists and turns aside his man. Grugan still going. He hasn't taken the point. Perhaps he should have done. He gives it to Mernon to do that instead. Mernon sends it in. Mernon shot back to Barry McKinley. It's in the right place at the right time. As we approach the 40-minute mark, the Clan Aaron man punches the ball into the roof of the net. And Armagh lead this game by 10 points, 116-9. Mernon shot top short. McCambridge punts it home. And Armagh now have a massive leg up in this game.
Crazy scenario there. Rory Grugan actually gave Mernon the ball behind, and it suited him, because if he had to put it in front of him, he would have got smashed. He managed to get a shot away, and that man McCambridge, who comes up with the big goals, he nearly got one of the first half.
Conor Glass is in, immediate goal chance for Derry. Archie Kennedy, of all players, is the man, soccer style, comes across with this volley, he's out as far as he can in the salmon. I tell you what, Derry got the ball to Higgins from the kick out. Higgins moved it quick, and Conor Glass, the ball was bouncing. He thought he was going to hit it in the half volley, only for Condy coming across. Derry, very big goal chance out themselves.
Condy was acting like a sweeper there to clear the ball away. Glass thought he had goal just at his mercy. What an unbelievable bit and a man with soccer experience. He knew what to do with it there. But back to that man McCambridge, he had a big goal chance the first half. He's getting a knack into getting himself in the right position, and you can't do that all the time. That's no fluke here. A man that does that as a knack it, and what a fisted score by Armagh with a massive score here, a massive goal.
Absolutely. Derry will resume with the 45. It's going to be taken from Padraig McGrogan. So as Connolly running back towards his own goal, he just hit that in the half volley as hard as he could, didn't care where it went, sent it into the crowd.
Derry badly need this. They're 10 points down here, and it could turn into a rally.
Under pressure from the Armagh fans, but he looks like he's got it. It's a super strike, in fact. Right behind that there, Padraig McGrogan from the 45 swings it over the bar. It had a bit to spare on it as well. That's his first of the day. And Derry get a measure of a response. They would have wanted a goal. They nearly had a goal, but it's something at least.
I knew McGrogan was handy at it when I seen Conor Glass not going to take it on, so that was excellent. Straight as a gunshot.
Rafferty seeking out Jason Duffy here. Duffy gets a hand to it. Brilliant bit of play from Duffy. Fending off now Toner. Armagh retain possession of their own kick out. Now immediately going on the attack. Kieran Kelly. Johnny O'Byrne has it. The referee has called an interesting goal here. He's called it for Derry. That Kieran Kelly committed an offensive foul for pushing out into the man's face as he held possession of the ball. What happened, in fact, Kelly passed the ball off and Charlie O'Byrne was steaming through. Another huge chance for Armagh. The person saw it differently than the rest of these Armagh supporters.
Desperately unlucky call there on Tiernan Kelly. It has to be said, he's had a great game for Armagh. He's worked very, very hard. I thought he'd done everything right there. He palmed off the man, offloaded the ball, and Charlie O'Byrne was gone, but the referee deemed it was a foul.
But now Derry maybe just getting a little bit of a leg up now after that 45 9-point game. They have possession, they're going quickly on the attack. Ethan Doherty, chance here for a point, or will he carry it in further for a goal? He's gone some distance. Ethan Doherty, but he went too far, overcarried the ball, and despite sending it up and over the bar, it's not going to carry it.
He probably overcarried it twice there. If you've been right about it, he got away with the first one. But
and now Shane McGuigan wants to play on. McGuigan's taking possession and slotted in the Armagh net, but of course there was a break in play there.
And by right, if you're playing by the rules, he should move this ball 50 metres up the field, but
it's still on Armagh's D, the edge of the D, where Doherty took that shot from having overcarried the ball. So it's Armagh possession. Ethan Rafferty's going to take the free kick here. But big moment in the game. It's probably just that little bit of difference. Armagh got the chance, more clinical.
Armagh's bunching in the middle here. They're all bunching in the middle, and now they're splitting out. see who's an option.
Looking for an option. It's man-to-man across the field. He goes to Darren McMullen, who's out in front of Conor Glass. Big physical difference, but Darren McMullen shrugs Conor Glass off, but he still has a lot of work to do. McMullen's under big pressure here and gives it up. In fact, Derry got the hand in, but crucially for him and knocked it out over the sideline. That's a let off of Darren McMullen.
What he done, and he can't see it, but I know that he's done it. He's hand passed it off the Derry man, just to be seen. Ross McQuillan do here in the first half, and he's very smart because he was under serious pressure.
Armagh go long with the sideline ball. Who's going to gather? Rian O'Neill is out in front. It's a good battle between him and McGrogan. In fact, it's come through for Patrick McGurk, the Derry cornerback. Derry have the ball way back in their own defence. Rian O'Neill putting on a lot of pressure, and foul surely committed there for Turbot. A high tackle, accidental tackle, and I think nothing more is going to be made of it. Derry
the referee smart enough. The Derry man leaned down. You seen Turbot coming. He did put in a hand, but there was no malice in it. It was a free out all day long.
So we're back underway really quickly here. Derry have it crossing midfield. You can see now that little bit more urgency in Derry. They need it. Trailing by 9 points, about 25 minutes or so to go in this game. Brendan Rodgers taking on Tiernan Kelly, and Kelly has a hand. The referee has his hand up. It's going to be a Derry free. If they can't get a score from this, they might just take the free at this stage. They're inside the 2-metre arc, or 2-point arc. Rodgers fouled there by Tiernan Kelly. One you're not too sure about there, John.
No, excellent bit of defending from Tiernan Kelly. Coaching kids at home, that's exactly the way you want them to tackle. He studied his chest out, and they seem to get a soft free out of it.
Free, scoreable chance here for Niall Toner. He's outside the 2-point arc.
He's trying to come back outside it, but the mark is clearly inside, so he's taking an awful run up.
Yeah, so it's a 1-point attempt here from Toner. He's got a lot to spare on it, and the referee puts his hand to signify it isn't. He's just the one. Niall Toner sent that over the bar. Makes it now Armagh 116, Derry 11 points. As we approach the 45-minute mark in this game. So an 8-point deficit. Armagh have to be careful on the own short kick out, but well worked. They got it to Barry McCambridge in between the middle of two Derry players, must be said, from Rafferty. They're taking a bit of a chance, but Armagh retain possession of the ball. Paddy Burns has it around the middle of the field. Paddy Burns is under a lot of pressure. Derry, to be fair to him, put him under pressure, but Armagh break through it. Now Charlie O'Burns has space, but a good hand in from the Derry man, a good turnover from Derry. That's a bit more what you want to see from Derry, in fairness, but now Armagh returning the favour. Armagh keeping the high pressure on the ground. Armagh got the turnover. The referee's allowed a bit of a ruck here. He's going to have to hop the ball. A lot of bodies in around the ball. Eventually Derry come out, but of course Sean Hurson is going to have to hop. They got a bit messy there, a bit
scrappy. That's an awful call there. Like, Derry man was leaning on the ball on the ground. It's definitely too long, but I don't know, he allowed a ruck to it.
But it's a hot ball which Armagh have won. Ross McQuillan has it inside the 45-metre line, kicks it inside the Murnan. Murnan on the right wing. Plays it back inside the Turbot. Half a chance for Turbot on his right foot on the right wing, but instead opts to go to Ross McQuillan. McQuillan plays a crossfield ball. Might open for a goal chance here for Greeley. Greeley just slipped through his hands. He still has it, works it back out. Charlie O'Burns just going to take the point. Instead it goes in low and it's blocked down. I think he was going for the goal, Charlie O'Burns, but an excellent block from the Derry man, Dan Higgins, I believe it was. Burns was going for the kill. Perhaps should have taken the handy point there, went for the goal, and a great block from Higgins.
Yeah, and a soft free there on the goalkeeper. He was outside his square there, so he's fair game after that, and the slightly tackle, he goes down, gets
it's a Derry free in their own sort of full back line, if you like. Hurston's telling him to move it back, the Derry ball when the game resumes.
Yes, Creeley was was thinking about what he was doing with the ball before he got it.
It's good crossfield ball, well spotted from McQuillan, right across the face of goal, but just a little bit touch too high for even a player like Ben Creeley. Just slipped through his hands, kept it alive a bit, got it back to Charlie O'Burns. Burns shot blocked, and it remains an 8-point game, and Derry are trying to change that quickly because they're on the attack now. Inside the 2-metre arc goes Ethan Doherty, but thought a chance might have opened up, but Derry maybe trying to work it back outside the 2-point arc, trying to force the point. Shane McGuigan's going to give it a go from 45 metres. This will be an outstanding score from McGuigan. Can take it, and he has in fact. He snuck it inside the post. A brilliant score. That one didn't even look on for Shane McGuigan from about 50 metres out, just outside the 45-metre line, centre on his left foot. He splits the post, and Derry, maybe they're not going away quietly here, Johnny. It's a 6-point game now.
I thought it was actually the wrong end of the post there, but he snuck it inside. Excellent score by Shane McGuigan.
And he's the man. Derry are going to need him, aren't they?
Armagh's doing okay. They've kept him to 3 points so far in this game, and that's not a bad return.
Yeah, and in fairness, the scores McGuigan has got, they haven't been high percentage shots. No. You have to give him credit for 2 excellent scores. As it stands, Armagh, the team in possession of the ball.
He's living on scraps, so he is, you know.
Darren McMullen just sent Shane McGuigan to the shops, as they say, and now he's going on the run. He's got Jason Duffy for support. Armagh building a bit here on the attack, out to Darren McMullen again. Just having to slow things down a little bit.
He's so tricky to pin down Darren McMullen, and he's getting a lot more confidence with the more football he's getting. He's playing well here today.
Worked out to the left wing. Rory Grugan has a little bit of space in the work on the left wing. Will he take it on? He's crossed the 2-point arc. He's got Brendan Rodgers to contend with, though. Still carrying it on, gives it inside to Conor Turbot. Turbot sheds a tackle. Still goes strong here. Conor Turbot still going. Turbot! Two tackles. Got it in. 1-on-1. Send it low. Conor Turbo with the goal, and it's 2-16 now to Armagh, 13 points.
Yeah, fantastic goal by Conor Turbo. He checked back inside. He took on the Derry defence. He had men hanging out from left, right and centre. Derry even got the solo on the ball under so much pressure. And what a cool finish. Ruled it underneath the keeper. Excellent score.
There's very few forwards in Ireland would even attempt that. Rory got the ball, drove at 2-3 Derry defenders, broke through tackles, continued it on in. He only had one thing in his mind, which was for the goal, and he took it well. He finished it in low. And Derry have possession. They've won possession of the kick out. A Derry man has gone down on the ground. I'm not sure exactly what's happened. They're not happy with Rian O'Neill, I think it is the culprit. Derry. We're going to have to see what the linesman saw.
Shane McGuigan had a bit of a
on the floor, yeah.
a bit of a thing at Rian O'Neill there, just as the ball has been catched, and Rian just fired the hands out and he get out and he rolled and he goes down on the ground holding himself, but he's
back up on his feet.
Referee told him to get up.
Yeah, they will resume with the Derry free.
And all of a sudden he's all right again, and he looks like he wants the ball. So
Brendan Rodgers has it. Derry have it 50 metres out. Derry have a mountain to climb now. Armagh lead this game 2-16 to 13 points. McGuigan's given it another go. It's an ambitious effort again. Short and into the hands of Ethan Rafferty. And I think at this stage McGuigan's just trying to do it all on his own back now. And he's taking on what we call low percentage shots.
He's a bit frustrated, so he is, McGuigan. He's frustrated.
Armagh building down the right wing with Jason Duffy and Tierney Kelly. Two players' names have said a lot, particularly in this second half. Charlie O'Byrne's another man who's been involved in everything for Armagh throughout this game. He's having a good game. He's got possession of the ball outside the 45-metre line. It's Armagh attack.
He's had a hell of a lot of possessions, and another man he's given to here, Rory Grugan, who's pulling all the strings.
Yeah, slowing things down a little bit, but Ross McQuillan might want to speed it up. There's even a roar of the crowd when McQuillan receiving possession of the ball. He drags it there, he gives it out to Andrew Murnan. Shooting chance might open up here for Armagh, but instead they have to recycle it back out the right, towards the left wing. Charlie O'Byrne's going away from goal again. Armagh, no need to be urgent. With about 20 minutes to play in this game, they lead by 9 points. They'll be happy with the work, and they'll force Derry to have to come out now and press up on them.
We're moving around the arc here, and Rian O'Neill can't even cross the halfway line. He's man-to-man on Conor Glass.
Yeah, O'Neill, Connolly and Paddy Burns joining Ethan Rafferty as the four men back for Armagh. I see Barry McCambridge is running back in his own half. That'll allow Rian O'Neill to make a run from deep here, and Conor Glass tagging him all the way. Derry only have two men up at the minute. Derry only have two men up, and Armagh are playing on here. Has to build a distance for that. Armagh still on the attack. Person has the spot. Derry now have another man forward, but an awful call from the linesman, it must be said, because Derry for about 10 seconds only had two men forward, and they get away with it. Armagh still in possession of the ball, in play, and now the referee's made the call. So eventually,
half an hour later,
now Hurston makes the call. Armagh going to get a tap over free. What happened there was Rian O'Neill made the run from Ethan Glass, not thinking, tracked them all the way, and that left Derry two men inside.
And an experienced man like Conor Glass to get caught out there, you know, but it has to be said, it took the officials an awful long time to flag that. The whole crowd and everybody was roaring. You know, that should have been ABC stuff there.
In any event, it is now an Armagh free, 13-metre free for Rory Grugan, and you only expect one outcome from him.
Very smart by Armagh, by the way, to pull that move. Rian called one of the players back, and he shot forward, and Glass went with him.
He was probably worried about Rian O'Neill coming from deep, just even for a momentary lapse of concentration, forgot about the rule, and Derry going to be punished for it now, you'd imagine, by Rory Grugan. Grugan steadies himself in front of the post. A chip over free for Rory Grugan. He makes it now a 10-point lead for Armagh.
Yeah,
his third of the game.
Yeah, the third
and a change coming in. This will only help matters. Stephen Campbell being introduced into the game, and the Armagh fans are cheering that like a score. Jason Duffy taking off for Armagh. Stephen Campbell comes in his place.
Soupy, the crowd are roaring here, and what a man to be fit to bring in at this end of the game. It's not something you want to see from a Derry point of view, that's for sure.
Not. Derry get the kick out of the way, they're going long once again. Who's going to claim it? Ben Creeley breaks it again, but he breaks it in the hands of a Derry man on this occasion, so Derry have possession with Kieran McFall.
Yeah, and Rian's way straight back to Conor Glass again.
McFall still
has a man that's actually had a quiet game was McFall.
And a good hand in Charlie O'Byrne's another excellent turnover. Got the hand in on McFall, and Armagh now coming out with the ball. He made that look so easy, Charlie O'Byrne's, and he's now the man in possession. He's having an outstanding game, the Silverbridge man.
Yeah, outstanding game, and like that other man, Darren McMullen, how he kept hold of that ball there in a tight space. After great work by Charlie O'Byrne's.
Andrew Murnan in possession now, crossing the 45-metre line. Derry minding their P's and Q's here with the three men up. Rian O'Neill in possession of the ball. Plays it to Turbo. Turbo took a bit look towards the post there from the left wing. Connolly might have a go instead. They're just recycling it. They're being safe and know with the scoreline what it is, that they can just work possession back out. No need to force anything, but Connolly now is going to drive at the Derry defence. Tired Derry defence, don't see it. Connolly might score a goal here. Ashing Connolly, super bit of play. He caught it well, and just a couple of inches north of the crossbar, and over the bar for a point. But a super score from Connolly. And you can tell the Derry defence is a bit tired. They don't want Ashing Connolly running at them at full pace. Could have been a goal.
There's so many options for Armagh. They can run at them with pace. It's hard to tag them all. And What a score! What a score by Oisin Conley.
And Derry going to the wing with their kick-out tails. It's going to be Armagh ball again. Padraig McGrogan, the wing back, was the intended target. It beat him out over the line again. Armagh getting a lot of joy in these Derry kick-outs, and they have the ball now inside their own half. For Armagh, 11 points to the good here. We're inside the last 17 minutes of the game, the last quarter of the game if you like. And Armagh, you'd imagine, will kick for home from here. Darren McMullen on the ball, about 50 metres out from goal on the left wing. Rian O'Neill. And again, Armagh just pragmatic, patient, in possession of the ball. Don't need to force anything. Don't need to give anything silly away. And in fairness, that's probably been a real credit of the game. Armagh haven't been turned over a whole lot in this game, whereas Derry, on the other hand, have given away sloppy turnovers, mental errors throughout this game.
They have, and it's been big pressure by Armagh, it has to be said, in the turnover, but they've just went so slow out of Kieran, and when you do that, it's very hard to get momentum and get past tackles and everything else.
Yeah, Armagh on the attack inside the Derry 45-metre line. Charlie O'Byrne, he's got pace as well. Another run from Charlie O'Byrne. Will he go for the point? He passes it off. It's an ambitious attempt here from Ross McQuillan, but it's a good attempt from Ross McQuillan from the left wing with his back to goal. He used his right foot to swing it over the bar, and Armagh are just taking point after point at the minute. They're running up a bit of a cricket score.
They're keeping the scoreboard ticking here nicely. They have 2:19 already on the board. Ross McQuillan, we spoke with that man before the game. He's just in phenomenal peak form that he's in for Armagh here. And
those two players involved. Charlie O'Byrne was the man who made that direct run, opened a bit of space. Conor Turbert actually made a dummy run, was through the Derry defender, opened that bit of space for McQuillan, and a super score from him. And for Ross McQuillan, it's 3 on the day by my count. A change made there for Derry. Ryan Mulholland in for his championship debut. And plays Patrick McGurk, and Rian O'Neill has claimed another Derry kick out. Derry just can't get out here. It's all Armagh at the minute. It's an absolute dominant display from them at present, and they're going to have a sideline ball out in the left wing as well. O'Neill won the ball, tried to feed Connolly, and the Derry full-back going back away, got a hand in.
Rian wants a sideline too.
Rian O'Neill might give this a go.
There's only one thing on his mind.
I think the crowd's encouraging him to do it. He's right out. What do we call that, Johnny? About 45 metres out or so. It would be a 2-pointer. Instead, he's going to clip it inside. And McQuillan has green grass in front of him, but well read, it must be said, from the Derry defender. You can see what O'Neill's trying to do, but in fairness, Derry read all the way. They get the turnover.
Yeah, it was a good enough. Had a good go at it because he made a great run inside.
That's
there.
the man just on. Ryan Mulholland, his first touch of the game. And now Derry quickly go on the attack. Brendan Rodgers has it on the left wing. He's moved inside to get on his right foot, plays it out to Niall Toner, about 45 metres out from the Armagh goal. Derry, this is their first attack in quite some time. Armagh have chipped over a good few scores in the last few minutes of this game, but Derry now crossing the 45 metre line goes Brendan Rodgers, gives it to Ethan Doherty. Doherty takes on Turbert, gives it inside the Rodgers, might open up here a chance for Derry. Rodgers is in on goal, gives it a go, excellent save from Ethan Doherty. For 15 minutes to go in this game, Rodgers did well, got through Conor Turbert and swung a powerful shot at it, but on full stretch Rafferty pushed it behind for 45.
It has to be said, Brendan Rodgers done serious work to get in there. He worked hard, he went over by O'Neill's.
Niall Grimley being introduced for in place of Rian O'Neill. Rian O'Neill's day is done, so 55 minutes for O'Neill. Absolutely wonderful to see him back in an Armagh jersey. And tell you what, wonderful to see Niall Grimley too.
But I tell you what, would you think he was away?
Never. No, he's in great shape, Rian O'Neill.
What a game he's had here this afternoon in Armagh in the group stages of the All-Ireland series. And you'd think he hasn't gone, folks. It was a phenomenal performance by Rian O'Neill.
Yeah, and when play resumes, it'll be a 45 for Derry after that excellent save from Ethan Rafferty. Padraig McGrogan stroked one over earlier in the second half. He's given this one a go as well, but has he tailed it wide of the post? He has indeed. It's wide to the right of the post.
Yeah, and it's a score that badly needed there. They would have needed that one from Rodgers, but they definitely would have needed that 45 to stop the rot here. But unfortunately, they haven't. It's still 12 points in it, Kieran.
Yeah, 12-point lead, about 14 minutes to go in this game. Armagh 2-19, Derry 13 points. Ethan Rafferty goes with the short kick out to Darren McMullen, and Derry are affording him acres of space there. And it just seems only one winner at this stage, Johnny.
Yep, but I think that's probably all she wrote here at the minute, to be honest. And Armagh, they've put on a lot of leg for leg here. They're not easing it coming off the bench to bring on the likes of Niall Grimley here. Phenomenal.
Yeah, Niall Grimley, Soupy Campbell both joining the action in the last few minutes. Darren McMullen still going strong at this late stage of the game. He's still got legs. He's got Paddy Burns with Burns might go for this. Instead gives it back to McMullen, the more natural shooter. McMullen takes it on the left foot, drops short, and who was in underneath it? Only McCambridge. But Ben McKinless, the goalkeeper for Derry, did very well. Got 2 hands on the ball and gets rid of it. So that shot drops short.
McCambridge was sniffing out another goal chance there, so he was what a man.
McCambridge, he might wear number 3, but you see him more often in the full forward line, especially on those shots dropping short. Got one earlier in the second half. He was just joining us. Connody's forced a turnover. Derry, you need to be really careful there. They're in their own full back line. Connody got the hand in, but Derry just about keep it alive, and now Niall Toner is carrying it out from the defence. Crossing halfway goes Kieran McFall, being tracked all the way by Stephen Campbell, but he works it out to the wing for Brendan Rodgers. Rodgers inside to Shane McGuigan. Can he find a bit of space? Paddy Burns is tagging him. Conor Glass has a bit of space, but he's a good distance out. McGuigan now 50 metres out goes laterally to Toner. They're playing it from right to left here. Derry across. Armagh trying to keep them out of the shooting zone. Toner might give it a 2-point effort. He will, but he doesn't catch it well. And it's going to drop short, in fact, so it's still alive here. And have Derry got it? There's a man on it, still in play somehow. Work back, chance potentially for a goal, but well read. Is that a Huntry Murnan of all people back there? Yeah. On his own goal line? So we've got Barry McCambridge in full forward line, scoring a goal. Andrew Murnan back there got a crucial turnover because Derry were in potential for a goal.
Now Paddy Burns is on the breakout.
Yeah. What positions mean anymore, we don't know. Paddy Burns is going down the left wing. He still has it under a lot of pressure from Mulholland. He did well, Paddy Burns.
Oh, how strong now from the Armagh. I think he might have been acting as captain today as well, maybe.
So a shot coming in there from Toner. Dropped short. There was a Derry man got a hand on it. Looked like it was going to drop for Jim Baker. The stroke into the net. Murnan read it all the way though. The number 14 on his back, but good full back play from him. Mopped it up in Armagh. In possession of the ball now. It's calming it down that little bit. Soupy Campbell and getting encouragement from the fans. They don't want him to calm it down. They want to see him run at the tired Derry defenders. He carried it some distance here, Soupy Campbell. And he got on his left foot. This will be a magnificent score. It's going to drop short again. Conor Glass is the man in the full back line for Derry. He read it all the way. Got his hands on it under pressure from Niall Grimley.
Yeah, Soupy checked back on his left there. I thought he probably should have stayed on the right. He was the right bit out for his first shot of the game at the goal. So unlucky there from Soup, just dropped
Derry
short.
moving it quickly. They're inside Armagh's 45 minute line already. Shane McGuigan going to open up for him. Surely there from McGuigan. The referee's happy with it. Thought he overcarried the ball. Rogers for goal chance again denied by Rafferty. This one was down his throat. But Rafferty read all the way, got a strong hand on it and pushed it away. And that's 2 saves now from Ethan Rafferty in the last 5 minutes or so in this game. And Armagh don't want to waste any time. Ross McQuillan driving down the right wing there. He's carried the ball across halfway. Derry moved the ball quickly, thrown into the other. Armagh looking to do the same. Ben Creeley's inside. If McQuillan wants to give it to him, Armagh have numbers here. And McQuillan has carried this ball about 70 metres and he's going to get the chance to go for it himself. Dropping his short. Creeley! It's a third goal for Armagh. I'm not sure if McQuillan crossed that in, if you like, or went for the shot. Either way, it doesn't matter. It dropped in under the crossbar. And Ben Creeley was there. He wanted it, and you can see why. He's got the height, he's got the physicality, and he's got Armagh's third goal in this game. 3-19 to 13
and he
points.
was calling that ball. It's only a point, is it?
In fact, I'm being corrected. It's gone up and over the bar, so a little bit less excitement there for Armagh. 220 plays 13 points. So
it's actually, we thought it was
apologies, I got a bit overexcited.
That was Ben Creeley. He ended up in the net and not the ball. It just went over the other side of it. But
Creeley's first of the game.
Yeah, well done by Ben Creeley because he wanted that ball. He was rolling. He was left on a one-on-one inside.
In any event, play continues. It's
but
just
the back
a 1 point.
Ross McQuillan there on the left and with 50 acres of space.
Derry now trying not to waste any time. Ethan Doherty to the right of the goals. He works inside the Glass. Might open up here for Glass. Armagh have a lot of defenders back. Glass trying to force it through, and he does. Super finish from Conor Glass into the bottom corner. Really well taken there. Glass, probably a shot earlier in the game he wouldn't have went for a goal. He would have taken the handy point. But with the scoreline where it is, he went for it. And in fairness, through a lot of bodies, Rafferty wouldn't have seen it till late, and it found the bottom corner of the net. It's a goal for Derry, and it's just a little bit of life as Armagh make a change here. I believe Joe McElroy.
Yeah, welcome back.
Introduced.
Big welcome back to Joe McElroy.
And the end of the day for Rory Grugan.
Yeah, Rory's had a phenomenal game yet again. Top class, pulling all the strings for Armagh. He's put in a big shift, Rory, and it's good to see him. He's gone off and all healthy and all ready for next week.
Just a bit of housekeeping there in the last few minutes. Creeley, we thought it found the net. He knocked it up and over the bar for a point instead. That made it 220 to Armagh. Derry went down the other end, worked it quickly, got it to Glass. Glass found the bottom corner, and that's 1-13 for Derry.
Yeah, great.
7 points in the, or 10 points in the point.
Absolutely great spin round by Glass. As soon as he turned, hit a phenomenal low shot in the bottom corner. Great finish.
Glass probably the standout for Derry and what looks like it's going to be a losing effort, but they're trying to change that quickly. They're in again. Rogers did good work, plays it inside. It's the second goal chance for Derry. Going in strong, it's the substitute, and Dan Higgins has found the back of the net, and just like that, when we thought it was game over, we thought Armagh were well in the ascendancy. Derry have hit the back of the net twice in the space of a minute. Worked it quickly. They won the Armagh kick. Got it to Rogers. Rogers fist pass over the top, and Armagh afforded Higgins acres of space. And the number 18, the substitute for Derry in the second half, drilled it past Ethan Rafferty, drilled it into the bottom of the net. 9 minutes to go, it's game on here in the back.
Crazy the way Armagh made a couple of substitutions, took Rory Grugan off, and we just switched off at the kick out.
Yeah.
Let the man into the pocket of space.
Armagh win their own kick out on this occasion, but Derry are bottling them up. To be fair, Derry have forced a turnover in the middle of the field, and Derry, from looking like they're dead and buried, now are well in this game. They've got 2 goals in a minute. And this game is not over yet. We might have overacted a bit. Johnny Armagh got as far as 13 points ahead of 7 points down. Derry again are finding space, but Quicken plays it inside. Niall Toner was the intended target, but credit to Paddy Burns, he read it well. But his panic station's at the back of Armagh, who looks so assured throughout this game defensively now. I
don't think Armagh panic. Armagh go up the other end of the field here and get a score. That's all they need to do. Keep the scoreboard ticking here. There's still 7 points in it.
Derry are playing serious pressure, but Mullins broke through one challenge. He's got past Baker, he's going strong, but Owen McAvoy comes in for help. And Derry now are showing signs of life, they're showing a bit of energy, and they're getting turnovers that they weren't getting throughout this game. And they got a free as well, you can hear by the referee's whistle, and they're going to stop the game again for another change. It's going to be a Derry substitution on this occasion. So number 21 comes in for 15. That means Tommy Rogers takes the place of Niall Toner. So another change there for Derry. But it's all happening, it's hard to keep up with. I suppose in a sense, look, of course we lean Armagh's way, but you have to give Derry a lot of credit. They fought back and they've made a real game out of it with 8 minutes to go.
They've got 2 goals, you know, that they shouldn't have got in. It's handy for, and that's just sort of switching off, and that's what happens when you're 12 points to the good. Switch off a wee bit. 13 points, because Ben Creeley got that fisted one, which he
and Armagh putting Greg McCabe in now. They want to show up that defence. He's coming in. Ross McQuillan, to be fair, has got through some body of work. He got through a massive amount of work against Donegal 2 weeks ago. He's got through an hour here in the Box Athletic Grounds. He's kicked 3 scores. He had a great game, Ross McQuillan. But McGeaney just wants to shore up that defence. He's sending in Greg McCabe. So Greg McCabe, another player who's having a good season. He's gone in. When the play resumes, Derry will have a free in their own defence, which has been taken by Padraig McGrogan. And Brendan Rodgers, has he got it? He just about does. And he keeps it alive under pressure from Al Grimley. Now Derry cross halfway, playing from right to left.
That's no free.
And a free given to Derry.
Rodgers lead with the hand there over Niall Grimley and tried to barge past him. And the
now
referee
Tommy Rogers has just come in. He crosses the 45-metre line. Plays it to another substitute, Ryan Mulholland. It was the sub, Higgins, who got that second goal. Conor Glass in possession. Ethan Doherty now. Derry showing real signs of life. He's inside the 2-point dart, gives it out. Another chance for Higgins. He doesn't take the shot, plays it to Rogers. Derry could take 1-point shots here, but they're trying to force it back out to Cassidy for a 2-pointer. Cassidy takes the invitation, and it's another score from Derry from the left wing on his right boot. Cassidy swings it over the bar as cool as you like, and all of a sudden, Johnny, things are getting very, very uncomfortable here in the Box Athletic Grounds. It's a 5-point game with 7 minutes to go, and Derry now with 2-2 in the blink of an eye.
He still wouldn't panic yet.
Armagh have won their own kick out though, crucially. Tiernan Kelly, he's having a good game. This is on the line of Darren McMullen. They just need to score here to settle things down. Derry are coming with a huge tidal wave in the second half. McMullen driving at the Derry defence with Charlie O'Burns. Armagh now quickly move it. Joe McElroy, will he go for the fisted point? He will indeed, McElroy. They moved that really well down the left wing. McMullen was involved. Charlie O'Burns was involved, and Joe McElroy, the man that finished it off. He came in and fisted it over the bar.
Score by a man that's only back there. Great move by Armagh. They did have the advantage there for a free. Went to Derry with a lot of pace and a very good score. Fisted score
big,
over the bar.
crucial score, Johnny. It goes without saying.
Massive score to stop the rat here.
Just 21 to 2:15 with 6.5 minutes to go. Conor Glass wins his kick out, and again, Derry are doing things which they hadn't been doing. Glass out in front, sends a kick pass in immediately there for his teammate who's out in front. Armagh get the turn. McCambridge is in there battling. Derry are right down in the corner. The referee hasn't blown the whistle. Derry are still going on strong. That's another substitute, Devlin, and eventually he's played it out, and eventually he carries it out over the byline.
Excellent defending, yeah. Excellent defending there by Armagh. Would have been so easy to give away the free there, Kieran. Yeah. But they worked hard. They knew they had the battle there. Got the man out over the sideline. Very hard work there by Barry McCambridge. An effort he put in there, and they hit with his big chest, stuck it out there.
Who's going to step up now for Armagh? We're inside the last 6 minutes of the game in a 6-point game. Where the referee go, Derry are tagging everybody right across the field here.
They're bunching in the middle, and they're going to split somewhere.
Referee goes out to the left wing under the stand side, didn't catch it too well, but Creeley's out in front, he gets a hand to it, but Derry get the turnover, and Derry, Derry outside the 2-point dart, given to Shane McGuigan. McGuigan's going to man inside, pass over Tommy Rogers, check for third, Derry goal, Rogers save by Ethan Rafferty. Massive moment. Rafferty's third save in the second half. Derry could have had 5 goals, they only have 2. They have a 2-point shot here taken from Conor Doherty, sent high into the sky, is still in play here. Rafferty, the man again underneath it though. Rafferty has the ball in his hands for enough. That was a massive moment. Derry overturned the kicker, got it to Shane McGuigan. McGuigan played it to Rogers, who was right in front of the goals. Tommy Rogers, that was, went for a left-footed shot, but Rafferty stood up and made his third save in this second half.
Rafferty's had a few big massive saves, and balls have come on him at some pace, and he still managed to get them out of there.
Danny McDermott now coming in for Derry in place of Padraig McGrogan. Like, in fairness to Derry, a lot of new faces, a lot of championship debuts being made here today by Derry, but they're right in this fight. They looked dead and buried. There was 13 points between these teams at one stage.
They needed that, Kieran. They needed that.
That was a huge moment in this game.
That was a massive score by Joe McElroy to stop it and settle Armagh a wee bit. Look, it was a half-goal chance. He went for power. But great save, but it has to be said by Ethan Rafferty.
Yeah. Rafferty did that as well in the Ulster final, pulled off 3 huge saves in that game. kicked a few scores as well. Referee scoreless today, but more pressingly is a Derry in possession of the ball. They're down the left wing. Ethan Doherty driving at this Armagh defence. We're inside the last 4.5 minutes.
Look, they're charging to me there.
Still Derry have possession of the ball, working it back out. Will they take a 2-point shot? McGuigan on his left foot eyes it up, and Vernon, to be fair, closed the space. Though Derry are outside the 2-point arc. It looks like they want to force a 2-pointer. That's Tommy Rogers in possession of the ball. They're still outside the 2-point arc.
Armagh's only 2 up here.
Yeah, the referee has his hand in the air for an advantage. Armagh don't have enough players forward, so they're going to take a shot on here, Derry, and they're going to get the free. They're going to get a 2-point free here with the wind at their back. So a mental error committed by Armagh. Only McMullen and Turbot forward.
I'd imagine Derry's going to move this back to the arc, just where Andrew Merrin is standing here.
So the clock's still ticking. 4 minutes to go of normal time in this game, but if Derry can convert this, it'll make it a 4-point game with the clock ticking away. Shane McGuigan, who else is going to hit this? And Derry are still well within this game. From 13 points down, they scored 2 goals. They could have had 5 goals. Only for Ethan Rafferty making 3 incredible saves, but still, this game is right in the melting pot.
Very bad mistake there by Armagh, especially if they get called here for a 2-point.
And again, it's just that turn, and we've been praising everything we were praising Armagh for and criticising Derry for a switch. And McGuigan takes the shot as he snuck it inside the post. It's a big moment in the game. He's got it. It's a 2-pointer for Derry. Shane McGuigan makes no mistake, and all of a sudden, folks, there's 4 points between the teams. 3.5 minutes normal time to go, and it's game right on. And to be honest, Derry had that bit of momentum. They're winning turnovers, they're winning kickouts, they're taking scores that they weren't taking. Now Grimley's free on the right wing. If Rafferty can spot him, he does. Rafferty looks for Grimley. The space is closed though. Brendan Rodgers and Grimley battle for it. Grimley gets his hands on it. It broke. But Peter McGrain, crucially for Armagh, gets his hands on the ball. He gets it to Connolly. Connolly has open space in front of him now. Connolly driving at the Derry defence. He's the man Armagh wanting the ball. Another player that won the ball is Conor Turbot, who has it now in the right wing. Turbot recycling it back out. Maybe Armagh just want to
Armagh need to be patient.
Need to keep their hands on it. They can take a minute, take 2 minutes off the clock here. They don't need to force anything. Leading the game by 4 points. We're inside the last 3 minutes of the game. Joe McElroy has it now.
And the sun is shining all of a sudden here in Armagh.
Yeah,
the rain has cleared.
Armagh still playing into the breeze though, left, right as we look at it. 2:21 to 2:17. 3.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes to go of normal time. Can Armagh keep their hands on the ball and just see this game out? In fairness, we saw Donegal do this against Armagh in the Ulster final. It's a game of keep ball. Piggy in the middle, Darren McMullen has it now. Armagh just hand passing it, making Derry come out, try and get a turnover. Joe McElroy on the ball. Tiernan Kelly, you worry about the legs for Armagh. How much do they have in the tank after 90 minutes of football against Donegal 2 weeks ago? A hard battle here today, it must be said. Derry have stepped up to it. We were criticising Derry. We thought Armagh were well gone with a 13-point lead. Derry have got it back to 4 points. And just over 2 minutes to go, Armagh are having to keep possession of the ball here. They're out in the sideline. Derry are pressing up, though. Joe McElroy out in front. Armagh still have it around the middle of the field. McElroy goes to ground. And now Derry going to get a turnover at the back of the wall. Derry have got a turnover. McElroy was loose in possession. Derry have it. We're inside the last 2 minutes of the game to go. Ryan Mulholland trying from board. Armagh need to get defenders back. They need to get bodies back in. Shane McGuigan, this will be an outstanding score from the 45-metre line. It's a great effort, but crucially for Armagh, it's just
so close there for Shane McGuigan.
Outside a 45-metre arc.
This man beside me had his hands on his head here.
It's hard not to.
He thought it was over the bar, but it has to be said, that was a foul on the Armagh player there, 100%. Bad call there by the referee. 2 hands around him and took him to the ground, and he lets the play continue on Joe McElroy.
Less than 90 seconds to go. Ethan Rafferty taking a little bit of time in this kick out. This is a crucial kick. He goes right down the middle. Who's he looking for? He's looking for a Derry man, it seems. As Tommy Rogers gets his hands on it in the middle, and Derry immediately go on the attack. Derry are not giving up on this game. Conor Glass has it now. Outside the 2-point arc, it's an ambitious attempt, but with the score it is, he had to go for it, but you can tell from the Armagh crowd, he didn't.
Awful decision.
Well, right. Is that the opportunity gone for Derry with a minute to go?
I'd say you're right. Like Conor Glass, who had a great game for Derry, he stood up when he needed to be counted. But that was an awful ball that he just took on there. And
crucially, Derry need 2 scores with 50 seconds to go. Glass, you could tell he's trying to lose a shot he wouldn't have taken on earlier in the game. It was out in the right wing. Rafferty, ambitious enough, goes out to the wing, finds McCabe. He needs support. He's got it with him. He's got it to McGuigan. He kicks it to inside. Yeah, Shane McGuigan's inside. He's not spotted. Doherty driving on Derry. Are they going to go for goal? Are they going to go for 2 points? Rogers in for goal chance. Rogers saved by Rafferty. A point save from Ethan Rafferty. That was a huge chance for Derry. He had McGuigan to his right. Rogers came in from the left wing. He had McGuigan to his right. Went for himself. Rafferty makes another save. But more crucial than that, it remains a 4-point lead for Armagh. And the clock is stopped as Armagh goes to ground with 20 seconds to go.
This is going to be the last play of the game, no doubt.
Clock stopped, 22 seconds to go.
22 seconds. Armagh will keep ball here. They look to get this ball as
Johnny, what on earth are Armagh doing in the second half? Kieran McGeeney's going to review the footage. He's not going to be happy. Derry have had 6 goal chances in this second half.
But it's all come from men with experience. Brendan Rodgers has got in so many times on that. It's on that sleepy ball up over the top of the Armagh defence. It's the one where you're anticipating where they're coming round in the arc, but instead they go in behind.
Yeah.
And it's that fisted ball over the top.
Worth noting here, folks, a break and play. Oisín Connery's the man down receiving treatment. Everybody just gets a chance to catch their breath. 22 seconds are left on the clock. Armagh do have the ball. Armagh do have a free, and you'd hope, but you can't guarantee anything the way the second half is going. You hope, from an Armagh perspective, to just keep their hands on the ball for 23 seconds, put it into the stand, and forget about this game ever happening. Forget the second half ever happened. Because Armagh are crawling over the line here. They're led by 13 points. Derry cut back with a brilliant kick. Grimley doesn't have to go for the score here. He's slowing it down. Armagh have the ball. Joe McElroy, and you think, Johnny, we can catch our breath. 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13 seconds. Armagh.
It's all over. Yeah, it's 4 points in it, and there's not enough time left.
Armagh in possession of the ball. Seconds ticking away. 5, 4, down to 3, 2, 1. Joe McElroy's on the sideline. He's going to put it in the touch. Surely McElroy. He does this. And Armagh. You can hear the cheers. Armagh get 2 points on the board by hook or by crook. Johnny, we have to catch our breath because Armagh led by 13 points. We thought Ben Creeley put the ball in the net for a third goal, went up and over the bar. That put them 13 ahead. We thought Derry were dead and buried. We have to give Derry a lot of credit, but at the same time Armagh would be shaking their heads. Derry had six goal chances in that second half, and only for Ethan Rafferty taking 4 unbelievable saves.
Ethan Rafferty with massive saves. And listen, there's 2 points in offer here. It didn't matter if you get over it here by a point. It didn't matter. All that matters was that you got your 2 points. Very important win at home. This is the game. Derry would have been targeting this one. They would have been targeting the game after Dublin turned over Galway. They're going to be targeting that home game against Galway. But for Armagh, this is massive. Yeah. This gives you that wee bit of breathing space, Kieran, especially after the Ulster final. Yeah. I didn't think there was a hangover. Listen, at the end of the day, they scored 221. Still a good enough performance. They got a lot. Good to see Rian O'Neill back. There's a lot of major talking points. Listen, Giza will sort out that defence. For the first half, that wasn't happening.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's probably just a wee bit of fatigue and a bit of different things in there, and probably personnel, it has to be said. Yeah. But a good, honest performance here, and I'm happy enough coming away from it. It's a game that we needed, a good, hard game. We've got that. Yeah. At one stage, 13 points ahead, Kieran. Yeah. It looked like you weren't going to get much out of it, but we're sort of happy enough now at the moment.
Yeah, look, in fairness, you have to give Derry a lot of credit there as well. As we said, thought they were dead and buried. They're a top side, they're a Division 1 side. They've got players like Rogers, like Glass, like McGuigan who stepped up. And look, they're going to be a thorn in the side for Dublin and Galway as well. As you said, for Armagh, look, was it pretty in the end? It absolutely was not, but it's 2 points on the board. And look, by tomorrow morning, they won't care.
It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. All that matters is the All-Ireland champions of the home win. They have their 2 points. That's all Galway would have been looking last week when the Dublins came to town and they didn't get it. So when something like that happens, it puts you in a sticky situation. Listen, I wouldn't be that concerned. As long as the bodies is okay and we get no injuries out of it, I'd be happy enough with that. Just hope Oisín O'Neill's isn't too serious, because he has been playing well. He's been kicking 5-6 points a game, and we've sort of missed that, So.
And look, as well, it's a hard slog for Armagh. In 8 days' time, they have to go to Croke Park to play Dublin. There's no reprieve, is there? 2 weeks ago, Ulster final. The game here today, which was a hard contest, it must be said, and they finish up, and now Dublin around the corner. It's just full throttle at this stage.
It's a wee bit of mental fatigue. Yeah. Mental fatigue after a big year last year. Yeah, the Ulster final that went on so long, it went to extra time, and that's where the switching off comes from. But I believe these guys will freshen up quick enough, and they've got that game out of the way now, and they've got the win. And they'll get ready for Croke Park now next week.
And again, look, it's funny how it turned out when Armagh were bringing the subs on and Derry were bringing the subs on. Derry probably had the fresher legs, but you've got Niall Grimley come on there, Stephen Campbell, Greg McCabe, Conor Turbot. Again, Armagh's squad, especially with Rian O'Neill back in the mix, their squad is, in my opinion anyway, the best in the country. Would you go along with that?
A massive squad, yeah. I for my opinion as well, the best squad in the country. And I still truly believe, and this is no bias because Armagh TV, but I believe Armagh is still the team to beat. Yeah. They're the All-Ireland champions. They've stuck their chest out here when it matters. They went to extra time yet again with Donegal, who everybody's tipping as favourites for the All-Ireland. So, listen, Armagh's going to be banged there, like a couple other teams, but that's all we're concerned about.
And look, to be fair, the last 10-15 minutes were a bit hairy for Armagh, but some excellent performances today. Charlie O'Byrne's really stood up. Ross McQuillan again, the 2 wing backs. Yep. Oisín Connery kicked 4 points. Andrew Murnan with 3. The Cambridge coming up and getting a goal. So, for you, your opinion, who are the sort of standout men on the pitch for Armagh?
You've hit the nail on the head with all them men.
I've answered your question.
Yeah, you really have. And a man that come on and got a goal and 2 points, Conor Turbot. Yeah. So it's good to see Turbot getting a lot more minutes. Like, I was disappointed he didn't start, but obviously he's not fully at full fitness yet. But a phenomenal performance for a man that hasn't started in a good while as well. It has to be said for Armagh. Like Rian O'Neill. Had a massive performance. A guy that's going to be gone for so long all season. So for me, I thought Andrew Murnan had a real strong game as well. Charlie O'Bones, excellent, the work that he done. Probably Armagh's man of the match. I tell you, the serious game was very impressive. Young Darren McMullen worked unbelievably hard, and he was involved in absolutely everything. Like Paddy Burns, involved in everything. And I would give it to young Darren McMullen for a serious performance from a young fella.
Look, I think it's fair to say with these two great teams, it's a shame that this game wasn't live and televised, but the GAA's loss was our own gain, and here on Armagh TV we really enjoyed that. Johnny, thank you very much for coming on, and thank you very, very much to all our listeners for tuning in all around the world. We hope that you have some fingernails left after those final few minutes. I'm going to lie down somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Going to go and sleep, but thanks very much.
Thanks very much, folks.